We're
Hey,
live.
okay, sorry, didn't see you there. Hey guys, welcome back. Sorry we missed a week, but stuff happens and things. Welcome back to the Worst D&D channel, streaming live on Twitch, uploading later to YouTube. If you missed our episodes, feel free to check those out on the Worst D&D channel on YouTube. We are going to be playing episode 17, I think. I think the last episode was 16. Yeah, something like that. And sticking with our great tradition of the person who wasn't here last week, or 2 weeks ago, doing the recap episode or recap of our previous episode, we have the wonderful and illustrious Boone. Boone Gray, and Muffin is here as well. So Boone, can you, to the best of your ability, let us know what happened last episode?
I would love to try. So as Veda has filled me in here, let me pull out my
Real good at
notes.
explaining. I'm like the best.
Yeah, I wasn't really with it. My head wasn't in the game. We were at Talia's place, the snake lady, snake motif. Her and Kara were talking. Kara stays with her, I think. This is all
Kara
good.
stayed with her.
This is all good. This is all good. I remember we were looking for Dodd's brother. I can't quite recall the place we were looking for him, but we get there. There is like mutated people everywhere. There's like a huge one on a throne with like a little head coming out of him or something. Silence and Dust are the big and the small one respectively.
That was on the way there, yes.
Okay, right.
And
my notes, I'm bad at reading.
Sorry, we went and looked for Quinn, did we not?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he's talking about. Silence and Dust for the mutant.
That's
Okay.
not Dodd's
Oh,
brother.
your
That's
little
Veda's brother.
Oh yeah, Veda's little brother. You said
Yeah.
Dodd.
No, yeah. No worries.
Gotcha.
I was reading ahead. Okay, so that's looking for Quinn, Veda's little brother. Yeah, he's like some ruler of the wastelands. He's kind of creepy. We went to Withergate. I see there is a Jimmy who is now resting in peace. Don't mess with the hopeless written on a sign. There's heads on spikes. Now, here's where I read Dodd's brother is one of these heads. So that's a little unfortunate. Dash had the fun job of telling Dodd about that. And then last I see here, there's an emergency radio in the truck and it says Zion needs help. And so yeah, sorry, that's my notes.
Nailed it.
Right. Nailed it closely enough to make sense.
Nailed it with
so
a
yeah.
screwdriver.
At the end of the last episode, you guys heard an emergency broadcast, which was from Zion, but I don't know if you noted this down, but it was Ellaria across the emergency broadcast system.
I did.
Oh, you did? I didn't read it. Sorry.
Wow.
Ellaria was stating that Zion was under attack and was in need of help. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Dash, but I believe you tried saying something back.
Not that I recall.
No? Okay.
I didn't write anything down about that, so I don't remember.
Well, all I was going to say is like it kept on repeating itself on a loop.
Automated message.
And it was just an automated message that you guys were hearing. So you are unaware of the situation that is happening in Zion. Now, this was just as you were pulling up to Blanco State Park, which is where Kenny was wanting to go. So you guys proceed from here. I believe the last part of the episode was you driving away in the truck.
Oh, we're heading to Zion, right?
You were heading to Zion, yes.
How
You
long does
were
it
in-
take to get?
From where you were, about 2 hours.
Do we have a plan or silver?
I think we should try to get back into that city as quick as we can and as quietly as we can. When you guys were in the city, do you remember any kind of building or like some kind of underground basement that might make sense that they all hold up in?
Well, it was real old stone architecture, like Dracula stuff. So I guess any of those buildings would work. There was an armory there.
You recall that there was an exterior wall of mud bricks lining the outside, and then there was gates for people to be let in, but people had to let you in. And then on top of that, they had people checking at the gates to make sure that you weren't infected. And then on top of that, the houses and stuff were, yes, they were old style architecture.
Oh my god, I could have just taken someone's gloves and punched people with them. They had silver in the gloves they were shaking our hands with.
What's going on in this town? Why do we need silver?
Ooh.
Something about werewolves. I wasn't around for it.
They're
Had
yeah,
a nap.
giant wolf things. And I couldn't punch them, so I just kind of held on to one for a while. And then they ran. Or someone killed it, and then the other one ran away.
And then we kind of turned into one just a little. But
Just a little. I actually didn't used to look like this. No.
What do you guys get up to when I'm not around?
All the fun stuff.
Obviously,
Yeah.
nothing healthy.
Yeah.
I thought I was in bad shape.
I
we're
mean,
better now.
but Ellaria can cure them. Maybe it stopped working?
Well, Ellaria sent the distress. I don't think she can cure like everyone.
Yeah, if you cast that spell on like a full hulked out werewolf, would it turn into a naked dude? Immediately?
So here is a little thing that I'm messing with the rules a little bit, which Ellaria would have told you. But once somebody goes full werewolf, the spell doesn't take them back.
Never go
You
full
never-
werewolf. Oh, you.
I saw that smile.
So we just gotta go and kill these werewolves. How hard can it be?
You need silver, it doesn't hurt him at all. Or magic. And our
Well-
magic dude just kind of went off. We should have checked on him. Maybe he's dead.
Beta,
That kind of just happens.
I'm right here.
You're our talker guy. You stay in the back. You shouldn't go up front with the
Okay.
werewolves.
The other
Boone,
magic
do you not
dude
do you
was
not
very
remember your
close
boyfriend?
to Boone, and they...
What's that? Oh, mighty voice in the sky.
I said, Boone, do you not remember your boyfriend?
The one that gave me my jacket.
You have more.
No,
You have a love triangle and you didn't tell anybody?
no. What's it called?
Robin?
Robin. You guys had a thing right at the end. Do you not remember?
Mhm. That was in my notes. You remember my notes?
Oh, right, yeah.
He's off doing research.
With his dragon.
I'm just
Being
saying I'm a
ready
magic
in case
man
something
too.
tragic happens to Kenny.
Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it like in a mean way.
And I do agree, I shouldn't be up front, but if I'm one of the few that can actually penetrate these guys' armor, I need to do my part.
Well, I can
Where-
ask for gloves at the front gate.
Where can we
Maybe
get these silver weapons?
at
Well-
the armory.
If there's an automated distress call, I don't think we're gonna find anyone just manning the gate.
Do you think it's likely it could be like a trap?
You said they
that-
had a werewolf problem before, yeah?
Yeah, but isn't that kind of convenient? I mean, not that I'm
Would
smart or anything.
I
Ellaria
don't
be
think there's
trapping
anything-
us? I don't think she would, but
Well, if someone
I
knows
only
we
met
know
her
Ellaria-
like once.
And if someone was trying to track us down, and they knew we'd come to save Ellaria because we left her behind, it was someone who knew that we were with Ellaria before.
That's too much
I don't know.
thinking for me.
I think we gotta just start trusting each other.
I'd
I'm
barely
not
know
saying you.
y'all.
I'm not saying you did it.
Okay, we need to get our hands on weapons.
All right,
Yeah.
we're gonna go to the front gate first.
Well, that's kind of
And
how we get in.
Okay.
I stick my head out the window and keep an
Um,
eye out for shenanigans.
I stick out my head out the window and hold out my tongue.
Are you okay, Kenny?
I think he's having a mental breakdown, and we should let him just process through. It's part of the grief process.
I hand him a handful of stims from my from my med kit. Yeah, it was.
So,
Sorry, I'm just trying to remember.
if there's anyone in the area, please, we need assistance. I know we're in dark times, but they're coming. We need help. So that keeps playing over the radio over and over again. So if you guys want to like roll an insight check or something to see if it's a trap, like that's still playing.
I'm saying shenanigans. Oh, I used the dice tap.
Ooh.
Oh,
That is a 22.
Oh,
wait.
dang.
Wait, mine's 6 plus. Plus.
Wait for it.
8.
Mm,
Hold.
3. 9.
Okay, with the 9, you
Mhm.
no, with the 22. It definitely sounds like the voice is in distress. It sounds scared and frightened, and you can't like without seeing the face or anything. You can't really tell if they're like lying or whatever, but you can definitely tell from the voice that there's distress and fear. Now, whether that means somebody's holding a gun to their head and making them say this to try and draw them, or whether they're afraid because they're about to be attacked by werewolves, you don't know.
Well, this is
But-
coming to Kenny, so they're being attacked. We need to get there fast.
How long does it take us to drive to the gate?
Well, like I said, from where you were, because you were going to the Blanco State Park, and that's where you first heard the broadcast. So once you got there, it's 2 hours to Zion.
Oh man.
Well, if it's a message
So, I'm
already
not
on
gonna-
repeat, 2 hours is most likely inconsequential.
I'm
Not
going
coming
to,
from Kenny. Kenny's stupid.
I'm not going to make you wait 2 hours to get there, but
Yeah.
that's how long it's going to take you to drive.
Gotcha.
Okay,
So
guys,
we're gonna.
10 o'clock. We'll be there. Have fun.
All right, let's
All right,
just
so
talk
we
for the
hammer
next 2
down
hours.
and we all right, we got to come up with like a more solid plan before we get there. What are we gonna do?
We need
Where-
weapons. Needs to be our biggest priority. We can't do shit without weapons.
Was there
So-
a side gate or a back gate that was closer to the armor, or is the front gate the only way really to get in? From what I remember?
From what you remember, there were 2 entrances, but the armory is kind of at the back of the town. The 2 entrances were like southeast and southwest.
Which entrance is closer to all the residential and just the
The-
civilian population?
It's just scattered.
All right, which one's closer to the military element?
Is that also just
Well-
scattered? Is it literally one entrance is no better than the other?
Well, the thing is, like, you came in the one side and then were shoved out the other side. Like, unless you guys actually spent time exploring the town, I'm not going to just give it to you guys.
Well, Kenny should know everything about this. He's never been there before.
Yeah, Kenny knows nothing.
I would say
Alright.
not really, because we ate the food and then I got sick. But I don't think Veda would have
Oh
traversed.
yeah,
my-
I forgot.
right,
Veda
your
still
blood's
has
up
Yeah,
radiation
Veda-
poisoning.
Veda is still occasionally vomiting. Every
All
once
right.
in a while.
Which side of the town had like the town hall, the soldiers' garrison, and any kind of barracks?
Both entrances had like a garrison. Like I said, they had military presence on both. Well, military, quote unquote. But both sides had a presence in order to fight back if they needed to. Like if somebody came to the door that had lycanthropy, then they could hold them off.
All right, how about like where all the military commanders meet and make their decisions? Like we'll take that entrance that's closer to that one because it's
Okay.
more likely that they fell back to that area to defend.
That would be the southwest one then.
No.
Is that also by the cows?
Sure.
Guys, don't eat the cows, okay? Because it was not a...
It wasn't the cows, it was the milk.
She doesn't know that.
Doesn't matter. They're were cows now.
Can that happen?
Well, where bears are a thing. No, wait, I'm not
Yeah.
Robin. Robin doesn't know shit, or Kenny doesn't
What
know
hap-
shit.
What happens when a vampire bites a cow?
I think I saw that in a really old movie once. They become bat cows.
Countpires.
And they're used to fight crime with a Batman.
Ooh.
Now you're just being crazy.
Batman, that could never
Not to be
exist.
confused with Man-Bat, who does not... He does villainy.
Does he dress up as a bat to do it?
I think he's a
Batman
bat that
bat.
disguises itself as a man.
Bird people are not real.
Okay.
Sorry, we're spiraling.
Yeah, we are.
Okay, so...
Well, it's a 2-hour drive. We can go off a little.
Fair enough.
How many times
I
you
did
have
this myself.
Do I remember any sort of rock formation that could be used as a ramp to dive into the city?
No.
Come on,
How about a
make it
rudimentary
convenient for
lathe?
us.
A rudimentary lathe?
Yeah. Sorry, Star Trek.
What if we sit on top of the truck, you slam the brakes, and we fly off into the city?
I
Right,
could just
plan.
we can do that with your truck.
fly into the city.
Okay, so we are dropping you in the city.
Like,
Well, not
if,
in the city. You guys are on the southeast.
if we
nope,
want to
southwest
bypass the
path.
wall, I could just fly us on top of the wall.
Oh yeah, you can do that.
Yeah.
There might not be a need. As you approach,
Oh no.
you see smoke rising from different areas around the town, and you also see the gate has been just shredded. Like you can see the claw marks in the gate,
Well, that doesn't look good.
and it's been busted open.
So traffic can actually drive through this. Right.
Your car maybe not, but like you could walk in pretty easily. Like you'd have to probably break the gate a little bit more, which if you sped up, you wouldn't have an issue, but it was big enough for werewolves to run through, right? Not vehicles.
Do I see anything noticing us approaching?
Roll a perception check.
Ooh, I'll do
The
that too.
tower. No! Hold on.
That
Natural
wasn't
20.
the tower. That wasn't the
Plus
tower. What are you
6.
talking about?
26.
Nice.
Natural 20.
Yeah.
I see everything.
Nice.
I rolled a 4 plus 6.
Um,
Not using this dice anymore.
as you're driving up, you catch a glimpse of something furry running by the entrance. It's like super quick and you barely see it, but you do catch a glimpse of something running by the entrance.
There was a hairy man.
Dash, could you make a bomb that if someone would step on it explodes?
I could make it if I had all the right stuff.
Do you?
I don't really have any explosives. I could see what I got in my chemical kit, but
Because if we were on the sides and maybe you rev the engine and they run out, explode, and then we win.
yeah, I'm sure only 2 of them took out the entire town.
They're real big.
All right, how big are the streets?
The thing is, these guys kind of kept things old school. They're big enough for like horses and stuff to walk through. You
So
can probably get through with your truck, but it'd be a tight fit.
Might
You
be
don't wanna
best
get the
if we
truck
just go by
destroyed.
foot.
You can drive in. I'm just saying you'll probably have to roll some
If we
checks.
want to go to the back of the town, we can just skip the wall.
All right. If we go in on foot, we gotta be quiet, and that never works out.
We won't
It
be
works out
quiet
when-
in this thing either, though.
Well, no, but we can ram the crap out of anything that gets in our way.
Yeah, but what if your truck breaks down?
But
It's armored. Like,
will it hurt them if we need silver?
Your truck is not silver.
Silver plated all the way around.
Surely you'd knock them down at least.
All we'd be
Stun 'em
doing
a
is
little.
pissing them off. More than they
Yeah.
already are.
I'd rather piss him off behind the walls of his truck than face to face with no weapons.
I still have some smoke bombs. Can they
There
see
might
in
be
smoke
weapons
bombs?
on the ground if they charged in. Depends how they defended. Might be able to take
But-
weapons off bodies.
But the
That's true.
werewolves see in magical darkness, or was that the weird zombie screechy things?
The weird zombie screechy things.
Okay.
We
Alright.
also don't have magical darkness.
Robin, why?
Robin, you
Alright,
left us.
All right, let's park over here.
Stealth.
Is that you? Is that you parking?
Ooh, Kenny is
That's the way
stealthy.
every parking sounds. Every
I'm
parking.
usually stealthy.
All right. So you guys are parking off to the side, and then you're just walking in, or are you stealthily walking in? What's the plan?
Well, yeah,
Uh,
I'm gonna try to be stealthy.
Can I fly to the top of the wall to get a bird's eye view of the area?
Ah.
I will also be stealthy.
Yeah, you can fly to the top of the wall.
Okay. Also, when I'm up there, I'm gonna look to see if I can find any big silver swords.
Okay.
Are
Do
you-
I see any swords around
you try-
here?
Are you trying to Sephiroth this right now?
Am I trying to what now?
Are you not?
The surefire kill.
I'm Yuffie right now, alright?
Yeah, so, do I see any hairy creatures from on top of the wall?
From on high.
Roll another perception check. Also, time of day, I'd probably put you at about 3 p.m. at the moment.
That's a 25.
25?
I'm having really good rolls so far. That's gonna change
You're-
soon.
I keep rolling under 10.
I rolled a 19, a 20, and a 19.
Yeah, I've only been rolling single digits too.
I feel like your dice are loaded. Did you buy loaded dice?
It does
He always
help
rolls
with the
18 to 20.
perception that with visual perception I have advantage.
Oh,
I need
okay.
sage.
So like I actually rolled a 14 and a 19, but I have advantage. So
Are your dice corrupted?
Yes. I think maybe it's my first time trying out a new system. They don't know what to do yet. And you know what? It's okay. I'm going to help them.
Okay. So as you're looking around, you're catching glimpses of things running around, never really pinpointing.
do they just kind of like seem to be running, seem glimpses everywhere?
Yeah.
Okay, I tell them quietly on the radio that they seem to be running around everywhere.
Are they,
Are the
are they grouped
villagers?
up at all, or one?
They're
one by one?
hairy and fast.
Okay, are they split up at all, or one by one?
I see glimpses everywhere.
No patent to it. It's just random. Yeah.
I don't see a pattern.
Beast on
You
hunt?
do not. You also will occasionally hear like grunts and snuffles.
I don't think they're humans. Like 80-20, not humans.
Can you find me some silver gloves? Bloop.
Do I see silver gloves?
Roll an investigation.
Silver gloves. Oh, I will be Michael Jackson. I'm
So,
fighting the shit out of these werewolves.
17.
17. You look around the immediate area and nothing really catches your eye.
How about a large sword?
MJ, no.
Nothing but that large sword, right?
Like, do you say nothing at all or nothing for gloves?
There's
'Cause I
there's
understood
no
nothing for
large
gloves.
sword, but you do see like pieces of broken weaponry around.
Okay, so nothing intact. Say through the radio. There's no weapons, but there definitely was a fight.
Any signs of powerful ice magic? Just
Well, I don't see puddles.
You do look around. Oh, we'll use your other perception check again. As you were like looking around and like trying to spot these creatures, you do see like large burn marks on walls and like kind of crystalline looking structures and things like that. There are some magic users in town, as well as the warriors and stuff. So you do see evidence of magic being used.
That there was magic at some point in the near past.
Okay. All right, are we gonna make our way to the armory first, or do you figure that's where we're gonna find most werewolves because that's where the most fighting will happen?
Well, we
don't
can't
seem-
fight them
as you-
without weapons.
As you do look around as well, Kenny, I'm just going to put you here. As you do look around, you do notice that there are like bodies of people and also bodies of werewolves as well laying
Okay.
around.
Still accurate with there definitely was a fight.
Yeah.
So the bodies will have weapons.
Did you move me?
No, I'm going to be popping you on
Oh,
a map right away.
Okay, I wanted to make sure that I wasn't updating or something.
No, you're good. And there you go.
It is.
So I have
updating.
you up on a wall, and you guys are top left near the entrance of where the gate was.
Oh,
let's
I
say.
see. Okay.
There's no
Alright.
intelligence to these beasts. I've looked into their eyes. I think they're just, based on what Kenny's telling us, they're just running wild looking for the next fight. I think making a quiet beeline to the armory might be our best bet.
Wouldn't
Where?
werewolfism be more widespread if they were just out eating people all the time? They like this place.
Where is
Just
the armory
us
in the
food.
town?
Kind of in the middle back. Why am I answering you? You
Well,
don't know.
I was asking
What?
the
It's in
group.
the
Who
middle
would
back.
know?
Got you, fam.
All right, where is the place that most likely hold up by your guess?
You want like an intelligence check?
Oh shit.
Okay. So here's the issue. You guys were here for about 8 hours.
Did Ellaria have a radio?
No.
So yeah,
Did
you
she?
could say
Did you leave her a
Did
radio?
you leave her
Dash?
a radio?
Hold on. Let me see.
I thought I did. Did I?
Zion, go to bed, headed to Ellaria, used Dashbook to learn a spell. She and 5 others stayed in Zion. I didn't put if she had a radio.
No, because I had Dash talk to her at the end of or start of the next episode because he wasn't there for that episode.
So she does have a radio.
She does?
I thought you said he talked to her on the radio.
No,
That's
that
not
was
what
like
you
a
just
said.
retcon.
It was a
Oh.
retcon.
Oh,
Why
okay.
I
didn't you
was
give
not
her a
present.
radio?
I don't
Oh,
think
was
you
it?
did.
I wasn't there.
You talked
don't
to
think-
her.
I don't
Why
think
didn't I
you
give my
did.
own brother a radio? You know, like who knows?
We're
Who knows?
idiots.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, you
We're
guys
not
have to
very good at this, you guys.
you guys have to buy the radios for one thing because you have enough for yourselves, and then on top of that, it's like, do you want to give it to these people? And like, is there like a booster here where it's going to be longer than 500 feet? Like,
Okay,
How many
Radios are only-
radios do we have
What
in our
about-
party?
What about the radio in the truck then?
The radio is the radio in the truck is like an emergency broadcast radio.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
It's like FM. You
Alright.
hear stuff.
I know we gave one to Emily.
Well, someone in
I
this
don't know
town's
whoever
got
took it back.
someone in this town has got to have a radio. Get on our radio and start broadcasting on frequency. Start asking.
Yeah, I'll start flipping through radios one at a time. Like, anyone here? And then wait like 30 seconds and flip to the next one and try again.
How many channels? Like 99?
Sure.
But how many radios do we have? Like, I have one.
I got one.
I think
So
we
that-
just had one extra and we gave it to Emily way back on the
So,
submarine and we never took it back.
I do 1 to
Okay.
50. You do 51 to 99.
Okay.
So, all right, so blah blah blah. We start broad. Do we get anything? Any response?
Okay. I'm not gonna make you go through each one.
Okay. Channel
I
one.
was ready.
Anyone there?
Okay.
If we don't wait long enough in this, we actually miss it.
If you don't
Okay.
guess the right channel within the next 5 minutes,
Yeah. Guess a number between 1 and 9. No. Okay. So. Okay. Do not message back because you may have just given away my spot. But yes, there are people here. Please be quiet.
are you?
When you say here,
Who did that sound like? Was it a familiar voice?
Well, it's not a familiar voice to you.
Okay, so it's not
Maybe?
like the two
Is
people I know that might be here. No, the
But-
one person.
Veda and Boone, you recognize this as the dude who you had talked to in town before, the Bronze Dragonborn guy. Which I don't know if I ever mentioned that he was a Bronze Dragonborn guy.
Oh, lordy. Hold on.
don't remember hearing
Oh, I
about
should
the
be
bronze-
taking notes.
That's okay. They don't see race anyway.
Eat radiated beef, attacked by werewolves. Nope, didn't write down who it was.
Yeah, and once again, you never asked for his name, so it doesn't.
No, I
doesn't
did
really
not.
matter.
Was he the one trying to kill us?
No, he
Saying,
was the
"Well,
guy. He was the guy who was helping you, like with the food and stuff like that.
You recognize him?
I
Alright.
I know we said not to, but I really feel like I should call back.
What was his job?
Like I'm really. He led us around town. He got us food. He showed us where the armory was. He said they could. I think he was like a morale guy, maybe like a recruiter.
All right, what side of town did he have an office or was stationed out of?
He didn't bring us to an office. He brought us to eat, and then he brought us to where we could sleep, and then the armory. I was real sick, that day, and
Okay.
it hasn't gone away.
Did you eat
All
something?
right, all right. We're gonna message him again, but not for a bit. Let's get into a city and then we'll figure it out.
Is this
Can
just
we
a
check out the
bodies?
massive, big open area with nothing in it?
Yeah, this is kind of the entrance, so like they kind of kept houses away in case like stuff was lobbed over. So this is just the entrance area.
70. I'm good. I can stay on top of things.
All right, I'm gonna grab my auto loader and load it with some special ammo.
Ooh.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna say to Dash, alright, I know we're not as good fighters as Veda here, so I want you to stay as quiet as possible. I'm gonna try my best as well.
All right.
I'll just try to stay off the ground.
I'll give some inspiration to Dash.
All right,
And-
Yeah,
cool.
Boone, maybe
That's
I
a
can
D8
toss
now?
you up on the roof.
Mm,
I can't fly someone else, and there's big gaps here. That won't work well.
It's a great idea, but I don't know how I'd get down
Oh.
quietly. Like, I mean, I could jump, but I might make a noise.
All right.
Hmm.
I just
Alright.
want to, yeah, I want to make like a quick search. If I don't see anything, I'm gonna sneak around, go up to building doors.
So roll perception then.
It was close. 18 plus Uh, we got a 22.
Okay.
Ooh.
So you guys continue progressing. As you're looking around, you're kind of catching glimpses, and you see a similar looking creature that you saw once before, moving a little slower than the rest.
Larger.
Much larger, yes.
How big is much larger?
You're pretty
Um,
freaking huge, man.
well, I believe this would be considered a huge creature, yes.
Okay.
Alright.
Probably about 12 feet tall and walking slower around. And
Lumbering.
as you catch a glimpse of him, it looks like he's like looking around, and like he puts his snout in the air and like starts sniffing and like looks not in your direction but away from you guys. And as he looks away from you guys, he runs, smashes his hand through a door, and you hear a scream very quickly, and then that scream goes out.
Oh,
But do we really want to go in here? Badoop.
Male, female scream.
Sounded like Wilhelm scream, so male.
Wilhelm Tell?
How,
Quick question.
How far away was he? From our location?
70 feet.
How tall are the buildings in the area?
It varies, but from 20 to 40 feet tall.
Oh, good. I can be out of its reach.
I'm gonna
They can-
murder you. It's just gonna jump on the roof, and you're gonna get murdered.
Climb the side of the building like every werewolf movie you've ever seen before.
But
Okay.
why
It'll be
would it
like the
come
Bal-
after
Bal-
me when there's you three on the ground?
It'll be like the Balverines from Fable that just come down from the sky.
Oh, I really need those gloves.
Alright.
Oh,
Which way?
that
Veda,
way.
are you going to be actively searching for those or no?
Yeah.
Okay, so beside the entrance here, there is this is kind of where they garrison away. There's like a door on this side. I don't know if you can see it because you're kind of behind the wall.
I think so.
You talk
can,
about
like-
this?
Oh man.
Hold on, let me inch forward a little. Boop. Where? Here?
Yes, that door.
Okay.
And that's kind of where like the guards would hold up while they're waiting for people. You recognize it because that's where people went back into after you were welcomed into this town.
We should go in there. Boop. That door.
Yeah, you
That
guys
door.
are right side by side. I don't think you need.
Well, the
Yeah.
Badoop would be
I'm
more
still
for
talking on
my
the radio.
benefit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, I'm
so
gonna
he's not
get.
lost is where we've gone.
Is it open?
Yes,
Badoop, if you find
It
a
is-
sword
it
in there,
is-
grab it for me.
it is. It is smashed open.
Kenny's gonna
Oh.
stay up on the wall to keep an eye on to see if anything approaches.
I'm gonna peek my head in. Is there anything rustling around?
I'm not gonna make you roll a perception check for this.
There's
no,
a 30-foot tall werewolf.
There's no one in there. There's blood splatter and things like that in here, but there is nobody in here. Limb
Ghost is-
here and there.
Coast is clear. I'll go look for gloves.
Roll an investigation.
Ooh, let's try. Percy, don't let me down. Okay. Investigation. Is that a smart person?
That's
one?
intelligence,
It'll
yes.
probably be
Guys,
-1.
So 12. I rolled
12?
13.
Okay, so it takes you about 2 or 3 minutes of searching around this room, and you're looking, and you, being Veda, you really don't want to go near the dismembered limbs and things like that. But then as you're like avoiding looking at it, you catch out of the side of your eye, it's like, oh no. and there's one glove attached to this arm that was freshly-ish torn off of a human. But there is a glove that has like a glint to it. One glove.
One Michael Jackson glove. I take it. Does
Okay,
it fit?
So you
No,
walk
it's
over,
too small.
pick up this arm, like just by the wrist, and like, ew.
Yeah, I was like, oh no.
Sorry.
And
Any
you
weapons for me and Dash?
you take off the glove.
Put it on. Is it a left or a right glove?
It's a right glove,
Shoo.
and
Is
it
it-
fits.
Okay, technical question. Would Tiger Claw still be effective, or would it break the gloves?
You mean eagle claw?
Eagle Claw, you know what? Yeah.
I think that's just like a way of fighting, because like humans.
Yeah,
can
you don't
use it
have to be
too.
like a claw person,
Yeah,
technically.
so
but-
I don't think it's gonna affect
Okay.
anything unless you're legitimately using your claws.
No.
Which would be useless
only,
because
like-
they're not silver.
Yeah, it's only like 1d4. Okay, cool. I got a glove. Doop.
I'm assuming we've followed her in there. Like,
I would assume so. Yeah.
yeah. All right. What
Is
do
there
I
any
see?
swords? Badoop.
I spent all my time looking for a glove. I could
That's
try to
a
look for a sword now.
15.
15.
Yeah.
Okay. So as you're looking around, you're starting to catch a hint of what's happened. You see like swords and different things that are laying around and daggers, and you see that like there's a sword stabbed into the table and then bent right down. So it's like straight into the table, and then the top half is bent over. And like you see a hilt here, and then like another shattered sword over here. And you catch also glimpses of like seared, furry flesh on these as well. It seems like they came here with a mission.
No usable weapons.
I mean, you can use them. They're not going to be very effective. They're going to be like improvised weapons and stuff.
Okay. I'll keep my gun.
Is this a dumb question, or if you put like the little knife in like the chamber of your gun and fire, would it work?
Yeah, it would blow my face clean off.
Oh damn.
It would work perfect.
That would be really cool though. I mean, if it shot,
Don't
not
have
if
to
it
deal
blew
with
your face
werewolves
up.
anymore after that.
Kenny, roll. Well, no, it's open field. I don't need you to roll. Give me 1 second. So you three. I assume Boone, you went in with them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you three are in the building, and Kenny, you see not the big one, but one of a bigger looking one. Well, I don't know. I don't think you've seen werewolves before, so you wouldn't really know how big they're supposed to be. But you see a large werewolf start kind of roaming the area.
Badoop. There's a big one nearby. Badoop.
We'll hide.
Dash,
Really?
Boone, and Veda roll and Kenny, roll stealth checks for me, please.
Oh.
18.
23.
Natural
Natural
one?
20.
Oh. Yeah, I think Kenny's throwing out the dice at the end of this game.
19.
Hey,
Two for
have you
different
seen the
reasons.
dice that rolled me that one out of a D100 a few games ago?
That's another
Okay.
loaded one if you're a cleric.
But I'm not.
Whew. I just got a natural 20 on was there a reason that you rolled religion?
No.
Who rolled religion?
Asking Jesus
Boom.
for some help.
That was 10 minutes ago. And it was an accident.
I just saw it on here, so I was in a different menu. Anyway, Kenny, what is your stealth?
Plus
Like, what
6,
did
so
you
it's at
actually roll?
26.
26. Okay. You see the werewolf's head pop up and look towards the door.
Like, it's looking here as I'm here.
Well, you are above. You're like
Oh.
on a wall. They're in a
Okay.
building.
I
So he is under this walkway and
Okay.
walking towards the door slowly.
I say
And
very
like snout raised in the air and like slowly making his way over.
like you guys can barely hear through my radio, but it's like I think he knows you're there.
All right. What looking around this room? What do we see
There's
as far as like
there's
places
tables
to go?
There's tables, there's cabinets, different things there where they like had stuff stored, but it doesn't look like anything's in there anymore. There's rubble from like not rubble, but debris. That's the word I'm looking for.
And also,
From like broken and shattered things.
So there's only one door into this room?
It's just it's just for the guards to kind of chill out in, so that they can get to the other get to the entrance.
Kenny is definitely holding his breath. Like not moving, holding his breath, like he's afraid.
Yes.
Windows, rubble from. Is there a hole in the wall? What's the rubble from?
Like the shattered, the broken down door. It's not rubble, it's debris. It's like the broken door. There's a chair that's been shattered, and like it's nothing like major. It's just the broken items in the room.
Nothing big enough to hide behind. Is what you're
No,
saying.
the things that you could hide behind, like I said, there you could overturn a table. You could hide in one of the cabinets, like the different things like that.
No windows, you said?
There's one window on facing towards the gate.
I'm gonna ready a smoke screen as soon as I see something's head pop in. I'm gonna throw it at it.
Throw it at it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'm
That's
gonna
all I have.
go to a cabinet and try to get in, but I want to peek out. If it looks like it's gonna lunge or do anything, I'll have a spell ready for it. For our escape.
You're preparing a spell?
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess yeah. Like I'm readying for if it is gonna attack.
Yeah, fair.
Okay. Do we have a map of this room?
No. It's just a tiny room.
How big is tiny?
If
If we're going creature size,
like 10 by 10.
Oh man. Okay. So he's probably not going to fit in here then, right?
just his arm.
I literally have no way I can help, so Kenny's just gonna quietly sit on top of this thing.
Is 10 by 10 really small? I thought that was big.
10 by 10
the
would be
bedroom
like 2
the
squares.
bedroom you're in
force.
right now
Mm-hmm.
is probably bigger than 10 by 10.
Okay, well, the bedroom I'm in right now, then.
Because
That's the
just
size.
remember that 5 feet by 5 feet is 1 person square.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no. So probably like the size of, about the size of the room I'm in now.
So 15
Closer
by
to
15,
15 by 15.
20
yeah.
by
15 by
20,
15.
somewhere in there.
Because, yeah, there'd be like a table and chairs. There'd be cabinets and stuff for like weapons and like food and things like that for them to enjoy while they're on watch, guard duty.
So you can all fit in the room, but you'll all be next to each other. Like,
Is
monstering through
Okay, so you guys have to figure out what you're doing now because he's coming in.
okay. So throwing it would be more of a bonus action, or is that with my only action?
That'd be
as
your
to
action.
Prepare. Okay. So then
Is
I'll
the window
be
smashed open or is it closed?
The window has not been smashed. No, they
a
didn't get
little
in that way.
over.
Is it one of those openable windows?
Yes.
It'd be a fire hazard not to be.
Yeah, exactly. You know, fire commissioner's gonna come and like drop the hammer
So-
on these guys.
When you 3 die, Kenny's just gonna get in the truck, drive away, and then it's Kenny in a lane, and you 3 re-roll.
Okay, on the wall furthest from the door, what do I see?
on the wall furthest from the door.
Yeah.
That's there's like a stand-up cabinet where if you looked inside, you would see like there's notches in the base of it. So you have the feeling that they stored swords and stuff in here.
We can
Alright, gotcha.
scatter silver swords on the ground, and you step on him and it'll burn his foot.
Okay. How big is that cabinet? Big enough to hide in?
Big enough for one of you to hide in, yes.
I'm already in one of the cabinets.
Yeah.
Is
And
Veda hidden?
Veda is not hidden.
No, is it worth it when we've been found?
Well, we get a surprise.
It
at
might
least.
also just
Anyway,
be investigating.
I get in the cabinet. And
Okay.
I shut my mouth.
The room is full of human remains. It might not know there's new people there.
I guess I'll hide behind some shelving. I don't. Is there some shelving in the room I can like duck
Yeah,
and squeeze and
sure.
have a smoke bomb ready? Okay.
Yeah. So roll your stealth again, and it's gonna roll another perception.
Dash does have
Inspiration.
Yeah. 12.
Not-
Okay, so I'm gonna have to bump that up to an 18.
You're bumping it to an 18, and then are you rolling your inspiration or no?
Oh, right. Let's roll the inspiration, see what happens.
D8.
Oh, cool.
It's
a
not
19.
worth it, fam. It's not worth it.
It's a 19 now.
What did
You
you
rolled a
roll?
one?
Well, no, I
Veda?
didn't. I decided to keep my hustle pool and use
Okay.
the yeah.
I think when I heard what Veda said that you shouldn't have bothered.
Veda rolled a natural 1.
No, I rolled a 3, so it's
Oh, no.
11. And plus
23.
8. Yeah, I don't.
Okay, so the head
My
comes
dice
in
hates
first
me.
and kind of like cocks its head, and Veda, you forgot that you had a tail.
It's just moving like this.
It's
Twitching.
like periscoping.
Yeah.
Uh,
I think it missed me.
and you immediately hear a growl come from the entrance, and it charges at your direction, Veda, but you have your held actions. So
Okay, so I toss the
I'm good.
smoke screen at its face.
Okay.
I'm not
And
gonna use
I'm
this dice.
creating a twisting pattern of colors that weave through the air. I'm gonna try to hypnotic pattern.
ooh,
I don't know if I'm gonna use this. Oh my god. I rolled above a 10 once, and that was when I had a negative modifier. So it was a
no.
dex? Is this a dex thing?
the smoke
Throw it?
screen?
Yeah, to throw it accurately?
Oh, to throw it? Yeah.
Yeah, throwing would
yeah,
be dex.
basically roll an attack.
17.
17. Okay. So yeah, it hits accurately. And that's basically just creating a smoke bomb area.
Yeah, it's just like as soon as it hits, it's just this. I forget how big it was. It was enough for like Dash and 2 people to be in at one time. I remember when I last used one.
Right. It starts at 10 by 10, and then it grows up to 15 by 15.
20.
Once it looks like it's
No, hang on.
I
blinded,
do a few
and
rounds by
dive.
5 feet.
Yeah.
Smoke screen is 10, 15, and then 20.
Okay.
yeah, once it looks like it's blinded, I would try to dive from that hiding place to a new one. As quiet as possible.
So it starts growling and charging in your direction. You throw that, and immediately you can't see it. It can't see you. And Boone, you can roll your thing. Or what do I have to roll?
You
Sorry.
can roll a wisdom save.
Okay, that's an 8.
Oh,
Okay.
dang.
So
It's not
he
wise.
is now charmed for the duration, and incapacitated, and has a speed of 0.
Okay, so it just stops in its tracks. And how long does that last?
Concentration up to a minute. We need to go now.
Okay,
All
so it charges at you like full blown sprint. You chuck the smoke grenade down, and as it's charging at you, it dives through the smoke and is right in front of you, and then it just stops and falls to the ground.
You have a coup d'etat, just silver sword.
I prefer not. Let's go.
Oh, it's gonna be pissed when it gets out of here. All right, let's go.
Okay, I follow.
Run, 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 run.
Did you grab anything from the sword, or did either of you?
I don't need nothing.
Is there like a sword or something on my way out that I
There
can
were-
see still?
Like I said, there's like the stuff that's bent and broken and things like that, so you can use those. It just wouldn't be as effective.
All right, I'll grab any kind of weapon that's not heavy.
Okay.
Is a long
there's,
sword
like-
a heavy weapon? No, it's a versatile. So any kind of long sword or axe.
Okay. So yeah, there's nothing really going on. So yeah, you can grab. You see, there's like a dagger and stuff on the floor that's kind of the tips broken off. And then there's like a few different things. The longsword was stabbed into the table, and then there's other pieces of longsword that are just strewn about in the room. But yeah, you can grab something small. Fine.
Gotcha. I grabbed the best option.
Perfect. All right. So this guy is in the room for a minute, I guess.
Yep. Dropping my concentration. Kenny sees us flood out of the door after the werewolf lunges
It found
in.
us.
And a
We
puff
got
of
a minute.
smoke follows us out.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like a big flash of light. Smoke comes out of the door.
Did we leave?
If you guys
Like
see
the
me
town?
on the wall, you just see me like not moving a muscle, just like.
Completely tensed up.
Yep.
Yes,
Okay, so
Had a glove.
So
this
if you,
building is still the armory, right? So
No, it's a
no,
guardhouse.
it's the guard
That was a
post.
guardhouse.
oh,
The armory is like way further into town.
all right. Let's go. Let's go.
Okay,
In
if
town?
you're running in,
Away from here.
Okay.
like, are you guys going this way or
I
this
Yeah,
don't
way?
you
know.
guys
I don't know where the armory is.
Yeah, you're running further into town. That's
Okay, that's
so
this
that
way.
way.
Okay.
House
No,
is in town,
If you're
This
running,
way.
going down,
Oh,
yeah. So
oh, okay.
and we're running that way.
I
Is this
fly
just
on
a
top
wide
of
open-
this building, then I fly on top of this tower. Like I'm trying to stay on top of things.
okay.
I'm just
So
darting
as,
from one
as
to
I
the
described
next.
earlier, this is the wall, and they kept buildings away from the wall so that nothing could like be burnt down by people throwing something over the wall.
Oh man. Okay.
So they put some space in between the wall and the actual buildings in the town so that they weren't going to be assaulted from the wall in.
Smart. Very smart.
They weren't dumb. They just
But I could totally drive my truck all over the place in here. Just saying.
Okay,
there will
but
be
then you
buildings
get
you
into the
can't
actual
later
town.
on.
Anyway. Yeah,
I'll
this
be
is
doing-
just the outskirts, and then once you're actually in the town, things tighten up.
The town is surrounded by a courtyard. You can be driving the courtyard, but it'll be hard to drive in the town.
This is the racetrack where people just do drag racing or NASCAR racing the entire time.
Or land a jumbo jet.
Okay.
Oh, where are we going?
Okay, you
Different
guys are going
directions.
further down where I don't have a map for all throughout the town. I'm just describing
Aw.
things to you.
Okay.
Back to here.
So yeah, I don't want to spend any amount of time in that area because it's way too wide open. So yeah, just
And Kenny's gonna
Mad
follow
dash
the
truck.
group as they're going through the town just by just skipping from roof to roof.
Okay. I assume you're kind of going to be their eye in the sky type of thing.
Yeah.
Are you wanting to re-speak to the voice you slightly recognized?
Some stranger told me they sent you to screw off. I ain't talking to them.
Okay, you don't have to.
I don't. We could call. I don't know. Is that a good idea?
Well,
I-
we're kind of flying blind. All right, let's get to the armory, and if there's nothing there, then we'll call again.
I lead the way.
I try to hop on the roof and warn you guys of anything approaching.
And also, someone should keep a lookout on for like better weapons for you guys or more gloves.
Okay, I apologize. This is a night map, but it is daytime, so I will lighten things up a little bit for you guys. Okay, so you guys are heading towards the armory. Roll an intelligence check, Veda or Boone. I mean, Dash, you were there, but obviously you're playing things off as you weren't.
Human you was there. Character wasn't there. Character you wasn't.
Natural 20.
Oh,
So
So
they-
19.
Oh, no.
You and I are both so smartical.
Smartest. Big brain.
Finn and Kenny are unstoppable.
Our
Okay,
powers
so
combined.
you guys are making your way through town. Veda and Boone, you kind of remember where the Dragonborn had shown you where you were going, and you make it to the armory.
Yeah, I remembered it real well. See, because I threw up in that corner. Right there.
Oh, they left it
Yeah,
just on the
ooh,
ground.
that was weeks ago.
That wouldn't be a good sign.
So once you get to the armory, there's a little something that I forgot to put on the map, but that's fine. There's a bunch of bodies and stuff around here. And then on top of that,
Oh, the building's on fire?
correct.
So I guess that's a no to me being on top of that building.
I wouldn't recommend
no,
it.
No. It's the bins. We gotta get the weapons out of the bins.
Are the bins on fire?
The whole place is on fire.
How easily does silver melt?
Time for the Google.
Really?
It's the only way to know for sure.
Silver
You
melts
see-
at 1,000 Celsius. A building on fire would melt silver.
And bins.
Oh yeah, the bins are plastic. They'd be a puddle.
The bins aren't plastic. It was just a storage area for the map isn't 100% accurate, guys. Calm down.
Okay, so it's still reasonable to think that there's weapons in those bins.
No.
They're in the fire.
the-
They would
the
have
so-
melted.
It could be. You don't know how long this has been burning, and it's still on fire, so you don't know if it's just been recently set on fire. However,
Well-
as you were making your way here, I do actually need the 4 of you to roll stealth checks, please.
Oh, baby Jesus.
Natural 20.
Ooh,
That's 26 total.
It's a dirty 20.
25.
Hmm.
You gotta like really toss it in the dice tower. I have found
You gotta
out.
just
If you
chuck it down.
If you
I'm not
just lightly
using-
put it in there, it rolls under a 10. But if you chuck it, it rolls above a 10.
Are
I'm
you
not
using metal
my
dice?
dice tower. I'll be back.
Oh,
No.
okay. I find
Yeah,
you have to be rough with metal dice to make them, work for you.
Make them understand.
Okay, so as you're running through town, like you're dodging in between and looking, making sure that there's no werewolves in the area. You have a couple of close calls, but you managed to make it here no problem. However, once you get here and you immediately book it for where the storage containers were for the weapons and stuff like that, you hear the scuffling of like claws on stone coming from around the corner.
Oh,
back corner?
hide.
This corner, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Uh,
Tuck myself. How hot is it right here?
Ooh. It's hot.
I would
That's
say
been
you probably
first.
should roll a Constitution save.
Okay,
How
well, I'm not
hot
gonna
would
get
the
so
roof
close that
be
it's gonna
over
melt my
here?
flesh.
We can lay down with the bodies, but it's gross.
Yeah, there is a lot of bodies laying around here as well. Do you want me to put dead bodies on the map for you?
Yes.
Dead bodies everywhere.
Okay.
The bodies hit the floor. Oh, it's a ninja. Oh, another ninja. Oh,
They killed ninjas? We're hooped.
Okay, yeah. Kenny goes here and puts the bodies, these two bodies, he puts them on top of him.
that's a baby. Oh, that's smaller. It's a baby or baby.
It's like
Just because they're small doesn't mean anything.
Kenny
That's true.
completely covers
That's true.
himself in bodies, so he's on the bottom of the layers with dead people on top of him, wings tucked underneath.
I guess Beta will go under this body and just kind of play dead. Is this what we're doing? Is this what we're doing?
That's what I'm doing. Let's see if I keep using my dice tower.
Okay. So you guys are hiding amongst the bodies?
Yeah.
Okay,
Preparing,
so-
an action for if they charge at me.
So I assume that includes you, Boone, or are you just chilling there?
Hi!
I didn't move my guy.
Okay. As I get closer to the building, does it seem like I can actually like take cover behind like this, or is it just way too damn hot?
You can probably take cover behind that, yeah.
Okay.
It is pretty warm, but I think at this point it's kind of... Did somebody just bark?
No, I went to place myself, but I like set myself in the fire because the grid doesn't work that way.
The pretty
yourself
hot is
into
the
the
lesser
flame.
of two evils.
Oh no! Dive headlong into the fire.
So yeah, you guys are... the people who are hiding in bodies, roll a stealth check with advantage. The person who hid behind a trash can, roll a stealth check.
We just rolled a stealth tag, right?
Did you?
Natural 20? Yeah, it was a natural 20. Oh,
Oh yeah.
now I got a 19, so
I rolled a
25.
19 and a 1.
Okay.
so 19.
Well,
It
the
was-
stealth check that you rolled was for you guys making your way through town. That
Yeah,
was
I
what
got
that
a
was.
Oh,
24
makes
to stealth.
27.
27?
25.
I rolled a 18 and a 4, so it worked out well.
Okay.
2 and a
So-
19.
This werewolf comes around the corner and starts walking amongst the bodies, kind of like nudges a couple, and
Oh no, Elaine.
just walks just walks on by.
I'm surprised Veda was able to get under a body.
Is that a bad joke?
No, it's a Veda not liking dead things joke.
I don't. She's just like, oh, I'm so sorry.
I step away from the building, trying to hold my clothes away from my skin because they're so damn hot.
You just
You're-
see
you're
Kenny
good.
sit up, wipe a wing on the ground, and then get up.
Gently, like, take the person off and try to lay them down nicely. Like, I'm sorry.
Oh, Kenny has nothing to do with the body. He's just trying to wipe blood off his wings.
So more weapons.
So this place is like uninhabitable, eh? There's no sense even going into this building from how it looks.
To be fair, most of the flames are coming from like the area where there's weaponry.
Okay.
The other stuff is on top of the building. Because this armory area was kind of like a garage that was always open for people to storm in and grab the weapons and defend.
Did you
Okay.
just say on top of the building so I couldn't fly on top of the building?
No, I'm saying they started the fire in the garage and then it spread that way.
Okay. Is there any weapons on the ground of the people here?
There's broken weaponry, yes.
But nothing real.
There is a large sword. You are correct. There is a large sword, but once again, it's kind of bent and the tip is broken.
I will take it for now.
Yeah. So basically, you can use this weapon, but it's just going to be a reduced damage.
I will check out the bins, like kind of hover my hand over. Can I even open it?
Okay, they're not bins. They're like cabinets like you saw in the other room. They're
Cabinet.
charred and burnt. You can try and open it, but it's going to be pretty warm.
But is it like, like you hover your hand over and it's like, is it hot, like it'll burn?
Do
It
the
is hot,
back
hot,
of your
and will
hand.
likely
That
burn.
way, if it burns you, it's not like the more sensitive spots. It's the back of the hand.
All the important stuff's on the back of your hand, though. There's like no meat.
No, but like you're less likely to lose the functionality of the hand if it's the back of the hand burnt. Because if you're
Ah.
grabbing something, it's not grabbing with burnt flesh.
I hand her my steel dagger that I grabbed.
You mean
The-
silver dagger?
That's the one too.
Okay.
Yeah, that
Okay,
one.
so
That
I'll
one.
kind of like wedge it there and kind of pull the cabinet open.
As you pull the cabinet open, a liquid molten silver comes pouring out.
Leap back. Oh, wait.
Hand back
Can
the
you-
dagger and the tip of it's melted off.
No.
The tip was broken off anyway. All right, let's have it back.
Do you have something you could dip your bullets in it real fast and take them out? The melted silver?
You are a genius, love.
I am?
You. I start popping assault rifle ammo out.
How
right.
how are you doing
Roll-
that?
Roll a dexterity check to see how many you can actually get.
Veda's just having a
Okay.
moment of being called smart. She's
Can I like how are you doing this? Do you have a special tool or are you just dipping them?
Just dip
You
in them.
Just dip the tip, all right?
Okay,
Like
I'm
you
gonna
don't just drop the entire casing in that. Okay.
I'm
put
going
it-
to do the same thing with my sniper bullets.
Okay.
So
you
Dex,
can do that with your knife.
I rolled a 11. No, 12. 9
12?
plus 3. Yeah.
Okay.
I rolled the 20, dirty 20.
Okay.
I'm liking this dice today.
Oh. I take my brass knuckles and kind of like dip the kind of edged parts in it.
All right. So, Dash,
Let
you
it-
get 34 bullets that are dipped in silver,
Okay.
and Kenny, you get 49.
Okay, now I gotta do math to figure out how many normal bullets I have.
Okay, how long does it take me to like dip them and then get them back into the clip? The clip holds 30, so that just leaves 4 left over, which I'll just leave loose.
My clip holds 5.
It takes you a little bit, but basically this was the speed of you dipping them before the concrete hardened the
Solidified
silver.
it, yeah.
Not concrete, stone, but
Yeah,
whatever.
That's cool.
Or
Yeah,
with brass
nothing
knuckles.
else I would have would be worth it.
Brass
but-
knuckles, yeah, sure. You open the third cabinet that's there, and you get to dip yours in.
The 3 of us all crowded around.
I'm not going to make you roll a dex check because it's literally one thing.
As Dash and I are just going do. Veda's just like,
Come on, come on.
Boom, don't
I
you have
wish
a
I had
knife
4
or
arms.
Just my words, Veda. Just my words.
Boom's just magic, baby.
Oh, okay.
Yep, so my
Oh, boy.
sniper is now loaded up with silver-tipped bullets.
Maybe you should have the glove then, Boone, because it's a performer kind of thing, and just in case.
Yeah.
If you
Give him
feel
the right
safe
glove.
giving up your silver glove.
Yeah, I got silver punchies now. That way, if worst comes worst, you could like get it in the eyes, you know?
That was a really good idea to dip stuff in the silver.
Oh, I'll never have a moment like this again. I'm just So we
There
win,
you
right? We
just
win.
earn your stripes.
Okay.
All right, shh, let's go.
Oh no. Now
Where are
have
we
to actually
going?
fight?
Are we going in the building? Like,
The
You
building's
can go
on
in the building if you want. It is on fire.
no, does it look like that's a smart place to hole up, or
Well, like I said, the building is on fire on top, but it looks like it's somewhat hospitable inside, but you don't know for how long.
It's on fire. Well, eventually, even if it's just the roof building, it will eventually burning. It will collapse, and you don't want to
All
be
right.
inside.
all right? Well, let's quickly scout out, see if anyone try to hole up in here.
Poking my head. Havu!
No.
Yeah,
There
I'm
isn't
gonna
some
start.
kind
I'm
of.
gonna start actually following through on these joke things that you guys do.
No,
We
don't.
will all die in the first time you follow through in it.
Okay, so
Alright.
you guys poke in the building a little bit.
Yeah, is that the one of the doors here?
Yeah, there's a bunch of doors.
Okay. Yeah, I'll push it open and just kind of peek in.
Roll a perception check with disadvantage because it is dark inside.
Okay.
Oh wait, no, you have night eyes. Never mind.
Well, that doesn't matter. Oh, wait. So not a disadvantage?
Not at disadvantage.
Oh, right on. Because the second one was a natural 1. Glad I got that out of the way. So it's a 16.
16. Okay. So you poke your head in and kind of look back and forth. Let me just roll something real quick. You don't really see anything happening in here at all.
Okay, I walk in.
I will
Uh,
follow him.
As you walk in, give me 1 second here.
Unless I hear a scream and he runs back out, I follow him in.
Does a 23 hit your armor class?
Yeah. Why?
All right. As you step in, you catch a quick glimpse before it happens, but a dagger pierces into your arm and deals
Don't growl.
it deals 4 points of piercing damage.
When I
And then
see,
a bronze dragonborn stands up and is like, "Oh,
You
sorry,
freaking kidding me?
sorry about that.
Kenny
I'm
like
keeping-
puts
I
his
didn't mean
hands
to do
through
that.
the door and walks in with his hands up.
I'm sorry. I'm a little on edge. Are you
all
okay?
clear. All clear. Yeah.
All
right.
I
Where's
here,
everyone?
and he walks over and he's going to bandage you.
Oh, that's nice. That's how you make friends.
And it's 7 points of healing. So he's like, "I'm so sorry, man. I didn't know it was you. I'm freaking
All
out
right,
here."
it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Thank you. But where's everyone? What happened?
Well, there was a lot more than we thought there were. Basically, we thought there was only about, I don't know, 20 of them. Turns out there's probably in the multiple hundreds of them. And they came charging the city all at one time. And now it's basically just a scouting party at this point. As to where everybody else is, once the militia kind of broke, pretty much every man for themselves. So I don't really know. I held up in here, and wait, was that you guys who almost got me caught?
Were you on the
Have
radio?
a dick.
Okay, well,
Maybe.
whatever. Doesn't matter. I didn't get caught, obviously. Think
Dave.
yes.
Thank Dave.
We all know it's poo.
I was gonna say thank poo, but no, I'm not gonna do that. Anyway,
All right. Is it just you? Or are there more?
in here, just me. I don't know if there's anybody else anywhere. I had a radio on at the time, but on me. I don't know if anybody else does, but I'm the only one here right now.
Okay. Have we lost the city? Or can we push them out?
I
Look
think
around,
it's-
man.
Is the city pooched? I don't know.
The city has been, like, you see no people here really other than the werewolves. And, like, the werewolves are literally, like, searching around trying to end people.
Why? What are they looking for? Why are they attacking this city?
Maiden takes out her detective notebook.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, it's got her name on it.
No big deal.
Yeah, why are they after you in particular?
Okay, well, I guess they're... whatever. All right. So, we may have tried some stuff.
What did you do? I hear one.
Okay, well, when we found out about, their abilities, we wanted to see if there was anything we could use it for.
Were you experimenting on these creatures?
Well, there was a party of us that went out to try and get one of them. Like, they're wild animals. What does it matter?
Because they're highly infectious and cause a big damn problem.
They're
Anyway,
not mindless though.
we went out to try and get one of them. There was a party, and then we captured a couple, kind of the smaller ones, because we didn't want to have any issues trying to get a big one in here. And yeah, we've been running tests to see if you can kind of control it. So far, I guess the tests haven't gone over very well, but
Yeah, you did a Maori job of it, didn't you?
What kind of
these aren't
tests?
us. This is us trying to. This is them. Like, none of us are infected people. Like, we. If anybody
Alright.
got infected, we would just, take them out. And then Ellaria came, and she's. Wait. Have you
Where is
seen
she?
Ellaria?
Where was she last?
I don't know.
Where
Why
was
would
she
I know?
working? Where was she staying?
She lived in the house kind of a little bit south from here. You're gonna get me to direct you, aren't you?
You're coming with us. Yeah.
Okay. Fine. Whatever.
Kenny
But
is
yeah.
just glaring at this guy with like pure anger right now.
Anyway.
He's not evil, he's just stupid.
Hey, I had no part in the party. I had no part in making decisions. All I was a member of the militia, and the militia's pretty much gone now. So you guys can say whatever you want about me. The whole town knew about it.
All
We
right,
just-
stop. Just, all right, where will most people be hiding and trying to hold up right now?
In their homes. We never really set up, like, do you see the walls? We did it, all of that. I don't know how they got in. Well, I do. They smashed down the gates. But, like, who could have seen that coming? Honestly.
Oh, it's just
all
revenge.
right.
This town got what it had coming. Let's get Ellaria and
Whoa.
leave these people to their fate.
No, that's not true. Are you a doppelganger again? Oh, I took another feather. It's unlucky.
All right. Do you have a way of communicating with anyone that's left? Was there like any kind of like public or common channels that everyone like if you were a civilian right now looking for direction, what would you look for to get it?
The militia? There was like an emergency broadcast tower It's the one with the big satellite in the center of town. But I don't know if anybody's there.
Okay, okay, how intelligent are these creatures? Like, if you talk to them, do they know what you're saying?
If I'm being honest with you, I don't think they're very intelligent, but the fact that let's be honest here, they're probably coming for the people the ones we took from them, but
Okay, right. Do you have, like, a loudspeaker that will reach most of the city? Or the town, whatever?
that would be in the emergency broadcast room as well.
Alright, if we told people to make for the southwest gate, would these things understand too?
I mean, they were human, so yeah.
So they're somewhat intelligent yet.
Yeah.
So if we let the werewolf captives go, they might leave?
We've had them for quite some time. I don't know whether it's a release and all good thing, or we're out for blood at this point.
We can't leave them there regardless.
Alright, we gotta get the people out of here. That's
Where
Yeah.
were you holding those werewolves?
There's a research facility, kind of, well, like a hospital type, clinic type thing, and then there's research going on the floor above.
What's closest?
Where is it?
Now, it's your estimate that that's the reason why you've got such a problem now is because you took some and started experimenting?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Roll a perception check there. Who is anybody outside still or no?
Just wanting to stand in the
no, I mean I've
doorway
been part of the
looking out.
conversation, so
Kenny's
Sorry, you
not
said
paying
you're standing-
attention to outside. He's pissed off.
Boone, you said you're standing in the doorway looking out?
Yeah, like even when we all kind of went in, I was kind of back to the door. I was always looking behind us.
Okay, well, roll a perception check then.
15.
Yeah, that's enough. You hear a loud thud hit the ground and a large howl, like a very large howl, come from outside the door. And then you see the biggest werewolf you've seen in a very long time.
ooh, buddy.
I'm gonna back into the door. There's one.
You can see it, I assume. So, and
Yeah.
it immediately makes eye contact with you, and just a toothy grin / snarl comes across its face as it just glares directly at you.
Do you make us aware of what you see?
Yeah, so basically, I'm standing in the door frame, always was what I was picturing, looking out. And now that it has dropped, I back up and alert the party.
Okay. So is it coming at us or is it just watching us?
There's a wolf the size of a building looking at me,
We can try to talk to it. You're good at
30 feet in front of me.
Talking?
What?
These
What am I
things
gonna
don't
say?
let him know
Hey,
we know where his friends
don't,
are.
Kenny steps into the door and says to the wolf, as long as it's not charging, I know where these people are keeping your friends. We can bring you to them to free them.
Um,
Roll
I don't
a
think he's listening.
persuasion, I guess. Hey, you don't have a -1 in persuasion anymore. Come
No,
on.
it's a 16.
Nice.
I'm assuming I don't have any proficiency yet, no.
I need to get like a legitimate
Better
like
than me.
voice changer to have some real good like.
I could
voices.
not. I tried to do the exact same thing. I could not find one.
that me banging my mic, or is that Lane banging?
That's me banging my mic.
I'm gonna mess this up. It's more than that at this point. Yeah, that sounds awful.
That's good. Roll with it.
Okay. And it takes a step towards you, and as it takes a step, like even though it's this far away from you, you feel a slight vibration in your foot.
Well, it doesn't have to be this way.
I
hear
understand
and
that
see
there's
this?
more to it than that. I have been experimented on against my will for well over a month at this point. But all I can do right now is let your people free. I am not a part of what happened to here.
They have taken away my family.
I have no intention to protect them.
Takes another step forward.
All right, right. If we can find your family and free them, will you let the rest of these people live?
Not even that many left. That no one will live here anymore. Everyone
They
will
don't
leave.
deserve forgiveness.
I'm not asking you to forgive them. I'm asking you to let them live. Or we just try shutting each other's eyes right now.
If we bring you to your people, will you allow us to take one of our friends and go?
We have to take all the people with us that are alive.
All of these people were aware they were being experimented on. All of these people are guilty.
Not all of them did it, though.
They were aware they could have stopped it.
That doesn't mean death.
Help us to help
all right.
you.
Can we stop the killing?
Yeah, Kenny takes a step out towards it. No weapons raised.
I just want to like level up the scale here. How tall are you?
Like 6 foot something.
6 foot something? Okay. You probably come up to like this thing's ankle.
Yep, I'm aware. I don't
Okay,
want
well,
to try to save these people. There's just one person in this town that I would like to save. That and freeing your people. You can
Who's
have the
that?
rest. Ellaria. A wizard.
You wouldn't know Ellaria in this town. Oh yeah, you would. Never
Yeah.
mind.
We
I
were
would know
talking
They
that.
about it.
emergency broadcast and stuff. Yeah, never mind.
All right,
can't
she's my
guarantee-
mother-in-law. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I can't guarantee that she's not already dead.
But if you can stop the killing right now, we can sort this all out.
He lets out another howl. And from nearby surrounding buildings, a bunch of werewolves kind of start landing on the ground.
City's
Hell.
burned. Everyone will leave, and no one will ever bother you again. You'll have your people back. Just let us take the few left alive. The city's yours. Your people are yours.
If you give us the chance to save our person, we can help you get yours, and you guys can
All-
take care of the rest.
All the people are coming with us.
We will get ours. Why do you deserve to get yours?
Because we weren't a
Well-
part of what was done to yours.
We just want to help who we can still help. You and everyone who can be helped.
And the cycle of killing has to stop somewhere.
It will stop once this town has been wiped from the face of this earth.
That's done. You did it.
And I hope you finish it off. Anyone who was a part of what was done to your people deserved to suffer.
If you stop the killing right now, we'll free your people and both sides can walk away. Otherwise, the cycle of killing's just going to keep on turning. You realize that, right? Anyone who survives here and knows that your kind has raised this city, they're gonna come after you too. But if we just stop the killing right now, both sides can walk away.
What can they do to us at this point?
Well,
They'll find something.
it's
You
a
guys-
dangerous-
You guys wouldn't stop at anything to get your people back. It'll be the same thing over again if we don't just stop this right now and walk away.
Okay, roll a persuasion check.
I've been
cast-
helping.
No. I was gonna make a joke, but I decided not to.
Is it? Is
Oh, that's
it?
good.
Oh, good.
That is 7 plus 18, so 25.
Let's see what he gets. Okay, so what are you asking for? Sorry.
Just stop killing. Everybody just leaves the city, basically. Stop the killing. Both sides stop trying to experiment and hurt or kill the other side.
I'll just leave.
At this point, I
Yes.
find it quite funny how different Kenny is arguing with this.
Yeah.
Well, I
You
have a
have
reason.
10 minutes. Then it starts again. Anyone
Alright.
remaining in this town will be raised from this earth.
All right, but no one dies within that 10 minutes. I have your word.
He lets out another howl and says, "You have 10 minutes."
I'd like to insight check the howl. Kidding.
Do you?
How
I can
sincere.
take you to your people to get them freed now.
All right, you, Dragonborn. Sorry. Go ahead with that.
Sorry, what'd you say, Kenny?
I can take you to your people to get them freed now.
We'll find them. You have 10 minutes. 9 now.
All right, Dragonborn. Where's that broadcasting tower you're talking about?
He has been hiding this entire time, and now you've alerted to his presence. And he is like,
Let's go.
You have
let's
9
go.
minutes to save your town.
town.
What's that?
Take us there.
In the center of town.
Is
Yeah,
it a
let's
tall
go.
building?
Come on, move,
Veda.
move.
Veda, can you
Yeah.
make it?
It has a
Yep.
giant satellite on.
Because
the
I
top of it.
can roof hop and get there really quick too with flying.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
you can
Veda
get
will.
Like
Yeah,
Veda's
Veda
just
can
really
run
fast.
wild fast.
Kenny can just go in a straight line.
Yeah. So both of you can go there. It's fine. But anyway, you guys both take off. And what is Dash and Boone doing then?
All right, if we can get back in the truck and drive it into town and collect as many as we can before the 10 minutes is up, we got to go now. Unless
Alright.
you have another idea.
No, that sounds great. Let's
Okay.
go.
So Kenny and Veda, actually just everybody, roll me athletics checks.
Oh.
Ooh, I believe I'm really good at this one.
The dice are rolling good tonight. 20. Dirty 20.
30-20.
27.
Oh.
One.
Oh.
One.
Veda,
I'm actually
Veda,
good
no.
at athletics. That's my thing. This is my whole thing.
But you know what? Your movement speed can't be affected by a dice roll anyway.
No,
So
it's not affected by a dice roll. It's just like it is how quickly you get there for running out of breath type of thing to get there.
She makes it really far in the first few seconds.
so-
and it's like,
A cow, and I remember how sick it made me.
Yeah.
I've been in a truck too long.
All right. So you all just start booking it, and Veda, you start kind of running out of breath like halfway through, and gotta take a quick like 30-second break, and then you book it again.
It actually makes sense for the cat dash. You can't do it twice in a row. So.
Yeah. So you guys just keep on taking off, and Kenny and Veda. Kenny, you get there a little bit before, and then Veda, you end up a little bit after. But Kenny, what are you doing once you get there
I
to the
immediately get
emergency
on.
broadcast?
I immediately get onto the loudspeaker and say, "Everybody, get out of town now! You have 10 minutes." And I just start.
You have like at this
Okay.
point they would have like 6 minutes.
You got 5 minutes. Run.
All right.
Do.
Yeah, so Veda will jump on there too. Be like, "Yep, there's a truck. Just get out of town. You have 5 minutes. The werewolves won't hurt you. Run right past him.
Once you get into the okay, well let's kind of pull back a little bit. You get to the emergency broadcast area. If you recall, the last place that you can place Ellaria was the emergency broadcast area. So, you get to the door, and once again, you see it smashed in.
Yeah, Kenny just
Run
goes
in.
in and goes to the radio.
Goes to the thing. Okay, so you immediately put your broadcast on across the town, and then what are you doing?
He's gonna
Anyone
wait
inside?
a bit to give a message, like the same message with an update for time, but he's gonna scan the room.
Okay. Roll a perception check then.
Ooh, okay, come on.
18 plus 6, 24.
11 plus... Probably not as good as you.
Anyway, so
Yeah,
Kenny, you take a quick scan of the room and you see Ellaria. Well, you see a lot of dead bodies in here. You see Ellaria laying on the ground with a giant slash across her chest and torso.
I go up
Is
to
she
her.
breathing?
Is she alive?
Roll a medicine check.
Ooh, good at this.
Really?
That's
Yeah, he's
10
wisdom.
plus 6, 16.
Damn.
You check her pulse, and it's barely there.
I have bandages.
Yeah, I give her I have a first aid kit.
That's better, right?
I don't know what it is, but
Okay. First aid. So it's 1d8, 2d8, 3d8.
so it's 3d8.
3d8. If you are trained in medicine, then it is plus your medicine.
I am. Plus medicine, so that is 20.
And you told everybody to go to the southwest gate, I believe.
Just get
I
out
mean,
Or
of the
just
city.
get out of
I
town.
said get
town.
out of the
Closest.
city.
Doesn't
Like,
Okay.
yeah.
Closest exit.
Okay. So you apply the bandages and different ointments and creams and rubbing alcohol and whatever else is in the first aid kit. And the pulse strengthens a little bit, but she's still in pretty bad shape.
So immediately, try to like
we
pick
need
her up
to
as
get
gently
out
as
of here.
possible. Yeah, I'll carry her and then try to carry her immediately out of town.
How long does it take Boone and I to get to the truck?
Probably about 4 minutes, 5 minutes.
Kenny is going to stay and give radio updates, like get out of here and kind of repeat the message until there's about 2 minutes left, and he's going to fly and make a beeline roof to get out where he's kind of out of range of attacks if
So
he doesn't make it.
Kenny is staying. Veda, I assume you immediately are taking Ellaria to the truck.
Take her out of town.
Okay.
Okay.
I'd like to take the truck into town, drive to the far back of town where if anybody was holed up, like at the far back of town, like I'd try to pick them up and drive them out. Because it might take longer, like more than 10 minutes for the people way back there to get out on foot.
Yeah, I'm gonna be yelling, head out the window. Can I make my voice louder with
Thaumaturgy?
Oh, it's thaumaturgy. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I'm
So-
just cooting and hollering out the window.
Okay. All right. So you guys drive through town. All in all, you pick up, let's see how many people.
The truck can carry what, 8? I better look that up.
You can stack people on the roof. They're desperate.
Yeah, like 8 comfortably.
Okay. So you pick up 6 people actually. I rolled for
Okay.
it. And then you immediately drive out of town, I assume.
Yeah.
And
but
as you're driving out of town, you see Veda and Ellaria is on her back.
I definitely stop and pick them up.
Hey, do we fit?
I
Well,
mean,
well,
not
Jump in the
comfortably.
box.
Okay.
If you hit
she
under
has-
her body, you can get in here.
Yeah.
I'll try to make Ellaria as comfortable as possible. Like I'll squish myself more so she has room.
Okay.
So she's not like
No, it can take 8 comfortably.
okay.
Yeah,
And
so there
there's
was
10.
already 8 of you, and now it's 10.
Oh, right, 6 more than Boone and I. I can't math.
Yep, so there's 2 people squished in. Or, yeah.
Muffin's sitting on my lap.
You don't want
All
someone
right.
else sitting on your lap, so you put Muffin there.
We're
So you
asking
guys,
for over here.
Kenny, the 2 minutes left, and you start making your way out of town. Everybody else drives with you, and then you see, as you're like getting towards the outskirts of town, you see multiple people on, like probably about 10-15 people on the road in front of you just running.
If I see anyone on my way out who looks like they're going to be a bit slow, I'm going to try to grab them and take them with me.
I thought you were gonna say you shoot them first.
I was like, magic bullet the whole group.
No. Kenny,
What's that?
he's not happy with these people, but he won't kill them.
Anyway,
Won't you?
No.
anyway,
He'll just
so you
It's a
guys,
kindness at this point.
you guys make your way out and manage to get out of town before the 10 minutes is up. And as soon as the 10 minutes are up, you hear another howl come from the inside of town. And you see a couple people just about at the entrance and immediately get tackled by a werewolf.
We saved who we could. Let's get out of here.
Annie, next time you speak, I'm gonna punch you in the face. Let's go. Well, what about the other people not in the truck?
Oh, right.
Okay,
I'll punch him in the face.
I start
Hey,
honking
roll
the
your
horn.
attack.
Did you actually, though?
Are you going to try to punch me in the face?
Yes. Oh, shit. That didn't go in there. That was
Okay.
a 17 plus 9.
Oh.
Okay,
Look out,
it
that one will
hits,
knock
and
you
I
out cold.
punch back with my repulsion gloves.
Okay, you're in the truck.
I don't care. She
Okay.
will get smacked hard against a wall if she fails a 15 dex saving throw.
Okay. Well, wait. Let me do my damage first, fam.
I have full health. I can still punch you.
That's true. 12.
Okay.
And then dex save.
Yep. Probably fail, but I'm punching back.
18 plus 8.
Yep.
Okay. Just to be clear, you just used a repulsion glove inside a truck.
Yep.
Okay.
No,
So,
not just any truck. You understand? It's my truck.
so, what is the truck's like integrity and hit points and stuff like that?
Okay, so we've got. Okay, so it's a capacity of 7. The armor class is 14 plus dexterity or intelligence mod to a max of 2. So that's a 16 armor class, and it's got 70 hit points.
I probably
You
put a
cannot punch
dent in
yourself.
a
Oh,
door.
it has disadvantage to maneuvers
Maneuvering.
as well.
Oh dear. Sorry, I didn't realize.
With 70 hit points, I'd probably just put a good dent in it.
Roll a dexterity for the truck, I guess.
This is driving. This is a maneuvering thing, or
Yeah, we'll do a maneuver. We'll do a vehicle thing, but that's with disadvantage.
yeah. Okay, so that is 6 plus 6. That's a 12.
Okay.
I could boost that up to an 18, which I will.
Okay.
But that's all my hit point or my hustle pool.
So what happens as Kenny decides to use a repulsion glove inside this truck is all of you get launched into the air, and the truck is going to be launched as well off the ground a little bit. I believe it's a 15 foot, or is it 30 feet?
Whoa, what?
Just give me a second. 30 feet.
Okay. So, because you've used this in a vehicle, I'm not going to go, because you rolled an 18, I'm not going to go, but the truck gets launched 10 feet off the ground. And you guys, I guess.
Seatbelts, right?
I mean,
No.
how many people do you have in the truck? You have.
Wait, were we driving off? Did we leave people behind? Because I didn't
No.
think we'd actually start moving yet.
No. Okay. No. You jumped in the truck because I got you in town. Oh, right. But Kenny's not in the truck yet.
Kenny got in the truck after.
Yeah,
and then
I said you
Veda-
guys were
Oh,
driving
okay.
away.
Oh, okay. So yeah, we probably would have stopped
Dropped-
at some point.
So
Dropped
the truck
off the
just
other
goes,
people?
Poof, poof.
No. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so no, I wouldn't have stopped until because I want to actually rally everybody. That's how I would be driving this thing, right? So Kenny, so I'd circle around towards the other gate, and that's probably where Kenny
Okay,
would.
while you were circling, you guys
Yeah.
launched yourself 10 feet into the air, and I'm going to roll a D100 to see how your truck lands.
Upside down.
no.
So your truck is currently on its side.
You didn't even.
Everybody in the vehicle takes 2 points of bludgeoning damage.
It's
All
like
I
your
hear
punch
is-
isn't strong. Now you want to kill everybody in the truck?
God, David! What was that?
You just see me like punch the door that's up open and fly out.
Kenny! Kenny, you get back here!
I'm gonna check on Ellaria. Is she still okay?
Ellaria is still a little messed up and a little bit more so now.
Everyone else okay?
No, I'm not all right.
Okay. You know, there are
Which
times.
side is it on?
The passenger side.
All right. And I throw open the door and I climb out.
Okay.
I'll also pop out, but I'll start helping people get out of the truck. I'll carry Ellaria out too.
All right. You guys all managed to make your way out.
What, is he in a tree or something? Come down where I can punch you again.
I'm not in
No.
a tree. I am standing my ground, pissed off at you right now.
All right, both of you, enough. The hell are you trying to accomplish here?
I'm not strong, but I'm not that strong.
Shut up! You're both acting like a couple little twats.
I just ignore Dash and walk up to Veda. Tell
Alright,
me,
no.
you little pampered vault girl, what is the worst thing you've
I
experienced?
shoot him with some stun ammo.
That does not give the excuse to kill a bunch of people
Okay.
in a town. We're
These
making two different
people
arguments.
Have
Oh, that's a
been
natural one.
torturing those creatures.
A bullet goes
No,
right in front of
Not every
Kenny's
person
face.
in this town has been torturing those creatures, and maybe they make bad steak, but that's no reason to kill them.
Those people in town had the opportunity to stop it.
They don't have blood on their hands. And you
Yes, they
making
do.
a different argument when Dash was trying to make one could have gotten everybody killed, including Ellaria, including us. You don't care about anybody else.
I don't care about the assholes that were torturing creatures that did nothing to deserve it. I have been through that. You guys left me there for a month being tortured, being
We
experimented
didn't
on.
even know you were there.
We saved you after we realized the other guy was goop.
And when did you realize that?
After
After
he
he
got
was
shot.
dead.
When?
All right, it doesn't matter. What matters now is that these people need somewhere to go, and we're gonna take them there. All right. So you two just can't. Whatever you got between you has to wait. All right.
I'm done.
Okay, Kenny, you go over to the south gate and you rally everyone and you bring him to my truck. And we're gonna Veda, you go the other way. The rest
you
of
don't
us.
want me to flip it?
No.
As
the
I
rest of us
walk
are gonna do that.
past-
You walk away. I don't even look at you anymore.
I
Both of
just
you,
walk
shut up and
past
go.
Veda and shoulder check her hard as I'm walking.
Ooh, she stands firm.
Do you?
Yeah.
We'll see.
Okay.
Let's go, fam.
That is a 25.
Well, is this a
You
hit?
rolled a natural 20?
No, I rolled athletics
18.
because I'm just using strength to shoulder check.
Oh, this is like a
It'd be a strength
not
save.
that strong. Can I use acrobatics?
No.
Like, I'm not trying to hurt her. I'm just trying to make her feel that I'm angry.
19.
Okay, so you try standing, and he bumps you, and you kind of jostle a little bit, but then you stand back up.
At least save someone's life while you're out there. I go off to the other gate.
All right, Boone. Boone, help me with Ellaria, please.
Of course.
All right, everybody out. Everybody out of the truck. Oh, okay. We gotta.
Everybody's already out.
All right, we gotta set. Is the box of the truck like covered and armored, or is it open?
I was saying it was covered.
Okay, cool.
Eh,
Otherwise, that
armored,
would be
yeah,
different.
kind of, but
Yeah. All right.
and everybody helps you push. Everybody who's able-bodied helps you push it down.
Gotcha.
It's not super hard. You guys, there's 10 of
Wow.
9,
There's about
seven of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good enough.
All right. Oh,
I'm enjoying my notes for this section. Veda punched me. I tried to punch Veda, missed, and tipped the truck.
I'm gonna start mending the truck.
The only thing that's broken is the mirror on the right-hand side. It's an armored truck. I mean, so
Veda would have to be a little bit intimidated with the punch that missed her, tipped a truck.
Well, I'm fixing the mirror.
that would have been like pure chaos in the back. It's like,
she got
they
you
have, like,
pretty good. She got you pretty good.
Bam! And then he's like,
I'll make me turn the car around.
okay. So, Kenny, you go to the one gate. Veda, you go to the other, and try and rally as many as you can. There's some that have definitely taken off. Veda, you get about 10 people. Kenny, there's about 7 at the other one.
Okay.
that's not very many.
Considering last time you were in this town, there was people everywhere. No.
Well, damn.
I'm
That's a
trying
lot.
to take really good notes to prove Cat wrong with those text messages.
Gotta love spiteful notes.
Exactly. I like writing down every little detail.
Just hire a
Okay.
transcription service to do this episode.
Yeah, how many? So that's 15 from either side of the gate plus the.
It was 10 and
5?
7. So we found 17. Ellaria's 18. You guys found 6, so that's 24.
Good memory.
Is there anyone I'm
Okay.
missing?
How many
there
people
were-
were?
There were people running as you were driving through the gates, so you don't know if they came back or not. But you did see about 15 running away, and there's only 10 with Veda. So
Okay. All right.
So we
You
can
keep
probably
everybody-
assume 30 to 35 got out.
All right. You keep everybody here. I'm gonna circle with the truck and try to find any stragglers. No one's getting left behind here.
Oh, it's a lot of people to fit in a truck.
They're not coming in the truck, kiddo.
We
No.
could put them on
you're-
top of the truck.
No, they're not going
Also,
on top of the truck.
just a heads up, your battery is at about, I would say, a quarter left.
Enough to make it to misery.
Enough to make it to misery. Not
All
much more than that, though.
We are going straight to misery.
Well, as long as we stop on the at the forts on the way back, I don't care that much.
Okay, so yeah, I'll take a quick drive to see who I can find.
You find a few more people, but a lot of people just booked it because they were told to run and they only had a certain amount of time.
Yeah. Okay. I
The
guess.
Dragonborn still with us?
The Dragonborn was with you from the get-go, yeah.
The gecko. All right. So how many in our civilians did we save altogether?
To your knowledge,
Yeah.
about 28.
Okay. All right. This is everyone we could find. The rest are going to have to fend for themselves until they find shelter or we find them on the way. But we got to go back to Misery right now. Otherwise, the truck's not going to make it. All right. How many people are able-bodied? I mean, not able-bodied.
Ellaria is the only one who's not able-bodied. The other ones were hiding. That's why they were able to run.
Children?
No.
Okay.
As many as can should go in the truck,
Yeah,
and
all right.
everyone else of our group walk with these people.
Okay. We overstock the truck. I think about 10 people can fit and still catch some sleep. But we don't stop. We'll sleep in shifts. The rest will walk by the truck.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And I don't want another eruption like that between the two of you until we get back to Misery when we can get this sorted out.
I flip you
Oh, well.
off.
Yeah.
Flip them off twice.
Okay.
Ara
So
flips them off 4 times.
Ara's not here.
I know.
Damn.
Okay, so you guys, I think we're gonna take a quick break.
That sounds good.
So we'll take a little break here, and then we will be back. But when we're back, we will be on our way to Misery, having a fun conversation.
Unless we don't trust each other enough.
All right.
We have been traveling together for a while.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
Eh.
Stay
All right.
tuned for more of the worst campaign ever.
Oh, hey. Welcome back. We're back, and we're down a player because
He's sleeping in the truck.
Sleepy Boy. He had to take a nap after doing all the rigorous stuff. Anyway.
Just let your imagination wander with that one.
Yeah. Anyway, you guys are proceeding to head to Misery. I believe it was stated that Kenny and Veda were going to be outside the truck, walking beside it, and then you have some survivors inside.
Yeah. And we're going to start taking shifts for resting. That way we can keep the truck moving all the way to Misery and keep everybody fresh. And so we'll take shifts. There's about 28 survivors total.
Yeah, that you found.
Yeah. When it's Kenny's shift to sleep, he's just going to sleep on the roof of the truck.
Okay, so everybody's still rallying at this point?
What do you mean rallying?
Okay, so the truck flipped. We stopped. The two went to separate directions to gather everybody back to where the truck flipped. I drove around trying to find more people and then drove back to where the truck flipped. So how many...
Yeah, I said in total you guys got 28. But
okay, gotcha.
There could be more. You don't know.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Yep. Okay. So yes, we'll take turns driving in the truck. That way the people in the truck can rest up, and then they can switch off with another group.
So Veda's on one side of the truck and Kenny's on the other, so you don't have any more outbursts.
Well, no. We'll keep one in the truck at all times. It's like the goat and the corn and the duck.
So which crew are you on? Are you with Veda or Kenny?
I am definitely the corn.
So I'm the goat?
I'll be the goat. I'll be a rammy little goat.
My knowledge of this like riddle is a fox, a chicken, and seed.
That's okay. You can be wrong. That makes sense.
Well, I don't.
No, this riddle doesn't work unless it's a duck, corn, and a goat.
Well, I don't. Never mind. I'll talk about it later.
Kenny's the goose.
Anyway. There was no goose in
Silly
any of
little
these stories.
He's making his own story.
I've added in a goose.
Yes.
Yeah,
Well, he's an
Anyway.
angry Canadian.
and
Anyway.
wins every time.
Anyway, so you guys are driving along, apparently slowly.
Yes, very slowly.
But
Yeah, I'm a
continuously.
little concerned about battery life if you're driving that slowly.
Is it
though.
by speed? Because going slower will use less battery. So does it turn out to being by time or by distance?
It's a mix of both.
Yeah, like
Because like if you're driving slow in a car, you use up less gas, but at the same time, it's also using more gas because you're taking longer.
yeah, like okay, so they say
Electric
that
motors kind of do work differently than gas.
No, that's fair.
oh yeah.
Like, it isn't perfectly scaled. Like, going half the speed won't use half the power, but it's not like... It's more along that lines than gas is. Because
Gotcha.
And you could
Well-
also coast without pressing down on it, like if you get a good momentum for a little while.
Okay, so this is what we're doing, and then whether we make it or not is up to the DM.
All right, so you guys are heading out on your way. Ellaria is in the back seat with Boone. Boone's taking care of her.
just
You're
taking up two
sitting
spots.
sitting amongst your other people. And then Kenny and Veda are, like I said, on either side of the truck. So as to avoid even looking at each other.
Like, it would make sense, 3 shifts, Kenny and Veda would never have to sit together.
Yeah.
And we all know how to drive.
you?
Kenny actually
Yeah.
doesn't.
Well, 3 of us, the other ones know how to drive.
I
Yeah,
think
so,
I think Elaine also knows.
On
Okay.
Kenny's
Mhm.
shift, he's just riding in the truck to nap, or riding on the truck to nap. He sits on the roof to sleep.
Well, between Elaine and Dash, they can set up 3 shifts of people,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Yeah.
No, it's not a big deal. Like
I'm pretty
I
sure Kenny is the only one that doesn't know how to drive.
possibly because you also have a bard in the party, so I don't know about that.
True.
Definitely doesn't have a vehicle proficiency.
But a performance.
He can pretend
I can
he
Make
pretend.
it till you make it.
Anywho, so as you guys are driving along, is there anything you're wanting to bring up with each other, or are you
Where's
good?
the Dragonborn?
He's in the back seat, like in the cab, not cab, cap, bed, truck bed. That's
Okay.
the word I'm looking for.
Gotcha. Okay, is this all open?
I mean, there's a window you could open between the two.
All right, cool. Hey, you Dragonborn, what's your name?
Oh, well, it's nice that somebody finally asked my name. I had it, and now I gotta find it again. Because I was expecting somebody to ask in the actual.
Mikhail.
It's not Mikhail.
Come on.
No.
Drake.
Borgun.
No.
Born of Dragon. Borgun.
Melinda.
It was Ariax.
REX. Right. All right. You said that some people took some of those werewolves and tried to experiment on them.
Well, yeah, like, did you see how strong they were? Like, they ripped through a friggin' gate, man. Like, they're pretty powerful. And, like, you can't even get hurt unless you have silvered weapons. Like, have you found any other silvered weapons out in the world? I don't think so.
What? Didn't seem much point. Didn't seem very practical. Unless you're some kind of nonce and want a pretty weapon.
Okay.
All right,
sure.
all right. So what did they find out? Any of you find out anything, or that's kind of like
I wasn't part of the science crew, so I'm not 100% sure, but I believe they were just trying to figure.
No, sorry. Go ahead.
Just trying to figure out whether you could control yourself once you switched over, because it really seemed like the people like coming in and attacking us and stuff, they seem very aggressive all the time, you know?
So the idea was to turn these things into soldiers.
Kind of, yeah. Like people, like the world is messed up. Like we had a good little community going. All of us helped each other. We fed each other. We
Until you started experimenting on werewolves.
You know what? That's the thing. Is like if raiders came from the outside world and saw a bunch of werewolves guarding a town, do you think they'd try and mess with that town? No, they wouldn't.
No, you're not wrong.
Yeah, exactly. Especially once they shot their guns at them or stabbed them or whatever and it did nothing. Like they're gonna book it the other direction and tell everybody else about it.
No, I get the idea you're going for. So I direct the question to like everybody to see if there was anybody a little closer to the project.
Roll an insight check.
Okay. Oh no. Okay. That's an 11. Oh, I have good guess. Yeah, that is a 22. No, hang on. Yes, it's 22. 16 plus 6.
All right. So as you direct the question kind of further, to like ask, hey, does anybody else know anything?
Yeah.
One of the guys sitting in just the back seat kind of just you see in the mirror him kind of like glancing back and forth like nervously, a little bit of sweat dripping on, and he kind of just looks down and is like playing with his hands.
Hey, why don't you come up over here? Yeah, you. You come here.
No, it's okay. I'm good. Thank you. Thank you. I'm good back here. I'm fine.
I hammer the brakes, let him jog forward some.
We're barely moving.
He
It's just
smacks
like,
his head against the front seat.
What are you doing?
Oh, hey, there you are.
You weren't even going that fast, have you?
Do you?
All right, so where was he? Was he in the back seat or?
He was in the back seat, like behind the passenger seat type of thing.
Okay, good. So as soon as he like lurches forward, I'd like to grab him by the tiny hairs on the back of his neck, and just kind of yank him up between the two front seats.
Like he's got his torso on the seat, and he's kind of like looking up at you super nervously, and he's like, this seems very aggressive. I'm not sure.
More aggressive than stealing a family of werewolves just to see what you could come up with.
I wasn't part of that part of it.
All right, so is that what this whole problem has been about? Like you started these experiments and then ran into troubles afterwards?
We may or may not have had run-ins with werewolves beforehand. Well, in the wilderness, but
Humor me. Give me your best guess.
There may not have been any attacks directly on our town beforehand. No.
Oh, you're an idiot. Toss him back into the back seat.
Am I good back here still, or do I still need to come to the front?
Nah, we've. So you messed with them, and then they started really attacking your city. Is what you're saying?
Well, roll an intimidation.
Am I hearing this conversation?
I don't think the windows would be rolled down, but roll a perception check with disadvantage.
17.
Oh, me too.
So, I actually rolled 2 20s.
Okay.
Of course
you
you did.
not. No way.
All right, point your camera at them.
Hey, now he's adjusting them to 220.
That was my phone. phone. That was my phone.
All right. Just hold it up to the screen so everybody can see on your camera your 2 natural 20s, because that is pretty glorious.
Okay, this won't work.
Funny.
Oh, there
It's
you go.
not long enough.
Oh, just show the picture on your screen.
Can you see? Oh, they moved.
Nah, bro. Now
Sorry, you
it's
lost him.
Just show the picture on your screen to the camera.
I don't know if it will work.
Oh, it's
It's
Yeah.
pretty blurry.
I
Yeah,
don't
I
distrust
believe
you
you.
anyway.
all right.
But I just thought it'd be cool to see it.
Okay, whatever. Anyway, frick, those dice, man.
One of them hasn't been rolling good.
You gotta get them like weighed or something and figure out if they're balanced. Like put it in salt water, however it's done.
One of them is just like a hollow metal die. Putting it in water will do nothing.
Anyway, so yeah, you do hear a little bit of something.
Okay, so I just mental note the guy and keep walking.
Okay, so I rolled an intimidation to make him admit it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he did.
This was what, sorry?
Oh, 17.
17?
Yeah.
That's a 5. But I don't think I can add anything to that that's gonna make it beat it. Okay. So none of more of the hair grabbing. I'm good with that. That's good where I'm at. Thank you. So we may or may not have been told by the ones we had that the alpha would be very upset with us if we kept them. We didn't quite believe them, but
you knew.
we may or may not have known. Yeah. And
All
then
I stopped the truck.
Huh?
Right.
I
Get
thought
out.
we were going.
Get out! I open the door. I go over to his door.
Okay.
Throw him out of the truck.
What?
You're walking. You're walking for arrest. All right. You know what? Point out everyone who was involved.
He takes a quick look around, and he's like, I mean, none of the militia are here except for that one, and it's the Bronze Dragonborn. And he's like, but I think he's a new addition.
You out now.
We knew the Dragonborn was aware, didn't we?
Yeah. Everybody was aware. They knew what was going on.
Right.
They weren't aware of the exact situation. But the Bronze Dragonborn, like he said, it's like, I wasn't part of the raiding party.
I said out.
I feel like this is a little unfair, but I respect.
Oh,
your
you
wishes.
think that's unfair now? All right, get out now. I want to hear another word out of you.
Hey, I bandaged you.
All
and
right,
he gets out of the
no.
vehicle.
After you stab me, you psycho, get out.
He didn't stab you. He threw his knife at you.
All right, you two are
Define
walking for the
stand.
rest of this trip.
They
There we go.
they'll fall behind.
Yeah, probably. All right, you
They're walking,
take the spots.
and they're like, "Oh, well, okay," and they hop in.
All right, and then I just beep beep.
Me.
Okay.
Ow.
So
So
you guys,
what's happening outside the truck?
So nothing's happening till it's my shift to sleep. At least with
Oh,
me.
it's your shift to sleep?
Yeah, like when it's my shift to get on, like I ride on top of the truck sometimes
Sure. Well, I guess,
because
wherever.
I don't want to get in the truck when there's full of people.
It's your wings. It wouldn't be practical to ride in the
Exactly.
truck.
And when I get on the truck, I put a bullet into the skull of the guy who admitted that he was one of them experimenting.
Okay.
Really, no lead up, or
No, I just
Damn.
kind of, as everyone else is just kind of walking, is just like, pop, because I have a silencer, so everyone knows it's me, but it's still not quiet.
Data
it's
wouldn't
quiet,
get in the
but-
car if she knows that there are people
Yeah.
walking without who are gonna get left behind. So she stays out to make sure everyone's together.
Okay, are we gonna have
So-
some major in-party conflict here?
Probably.
So the way I see it in my brain pictures, like Dash will be like sleeping in the back, and it'll be like, you know, like 20 hours down the road or whatever, and this guy's been walking for 20 hours straight. He's like falling behind, and he's like a little further behind the whole group that's kind of following beside the truck, and Kenny's just
Yep, that's how I see it too. He just kind of goes behind and shoots the guy falling behind. And if you need me to roll, I got an 11 plus 9.
If you didn't see, that was a major eye roll on my part.
I saw it.
We all saw it.
Ooh.
Anyway, Veda. So if this is like hour 20, it would have been Dash, and then you are one of the drivers as well.
I'd say she wouldn't have let them fall that far behind.
I'm just wondering if Elaine would be one of the people
Oh.
outside.
I imagine Elaine would take a shift driving as well.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying is like Dash and then Elaine and then Veda and then Dash. So I'm wondering if at this point it would actually be Veda driving the vehicle and Elaine outside with Kenny. You tell me what your order of driving is without metagaming here.
Okay, so I would say, because I know Elaine drives, and so Dash would tell Elaine to take the next shift to tag him off, and then whoever Elaine would choose after Dash.
Yeah,
Well,
so
you
it'd
also
be
know that
Dash,
Veda
Elaine,
drives, too. So if that's the case, like there's always going to be a member of your party outside with them.
Probably at least 2.
Yeah, so Kenny being on top of the truck, and then Elaine being outside, and then Dash sleeping on his shift, and then Veda driving.
Yep.
Kenny also just takes random breaks sitting on top of the truck because nobody else seems to want to be up there.
That would make sense.
Roll a perception check with disadvantage, Veda.
Oh boy. Is it wouldn't you feel it on the roof of the truck, the recoil, or at least the
Silencer? Nah.
You wouldn't feel the gun going off when the person's holding it when you're in the truck because their body would be taking most of that impact.
Man, I rolled a natural 20 and a 6.
6 plus.
Aw.
3, so 9.
All right. You hear a slight pop, but not enough to trigger any brain power.
But I'm sure.
You know how when you're driving you kind of just like zone out.
Yeah. I've hit 3 people without noticing. No, I'm kidding.
Oh my god.
Anyway, so yeah, you guys keep on moving along and end up in misery with 27 people.
Oh, the truck makes it.
And because we're down to 3 players, I think once you end up in misery, if you guys want to talk a little bit, you can, but we'll be ending the game as soon as the role playing is done.
Wait, you only killed the scientist, not the Dragonborn?
No, I've already, like, the scientist was directly involved. The Dragonborn was part of the militia after the fact. I was already aware of him. So yeah, I just killed the scientist.
So how far behind everybody was the Dragonborn? Like, how far did he fall behind?
I mean, he's a bit more fit than a scientist would be.
Yeah.
So let me do a quick roll for him then.
I was say Veda wouldn't have let anyone fall behind.
He got a
As you
24
know-
athletics.
as you
I
noticed.
think he would have been fine.
Okay.
Yeah, so if
Exhausted.
Veda,
Yeah.
if Veda was counting, she would have got out of the truck and there would have just been one less person.
I think Veda would have been the last driver as well, though, because you weren't super far away when you were
Okay.
in.
So there's one less person.
Yeah.
Though,
And I wouldn't count Beta being smart enough to like be constantly like counting and remembering how many people they
yeah,
had.
if anyone was doing that, it wouldn't be Beta or Kenny.
Yeah, to be fair, we're
Stupid.
dum-dums. We're
Okay.
himpos.
Okay, so what was the name of the half orc that ran this that little shop in Misery?
In Misery?
Yeah. I think it was a half orc.
Let me just find out for you.
Four-armed, four-legged tusk guy.
that's
Jack
the one.
Lewis.
Jack Lewis.
Jack Lewis.
So
that wasn't a shop. He's the mayor.
Gotcha. Oh, okay.
You never went to, or not the mayor. He's the sheriff. He doesn't not really
Oh.
the government, but he tries to maintain the peace.
Okay.
There's two places in town, which is the Urban Hog Inn and Tavern, and then the Broken Crate Salvage. And you never went to the Broken Crate Salvage, so you wouldn't know the owner.
Okay.
Well, I guess you would, but nobody else.
Yeah. All right. I'll take the Dragonborn back to the garage with the truck and tell him that he can have a rest in the truck there now that they're back.
Okay. He was like, oh, okay, yeah, I've been better. And he climbs into the back of the truck bed and falls asleep.
I get Boone's help to get Ellaria out of the truck and into a bed in my mom's house.
Okay. The nurse comes out and she's like, "Oh, didn't realize we're adding to our stash."
Just this one. She's in rough shape though.
No.
Can you help?
I know this is Ellaria. I got her.
Alright.
And
Alright.
so yeah, she helps her out.
Okay. How's Thea?
Who are you asking? The nurse?
The nurse, yeah. Did it
Her-
work? Did
she's-
that?
I don't know what you're expecting of that device, but she's stable, if that means anything to you. She's
It's not nothing.
improved to a point of we're not afraid. If
But
that
she
means
hasn't woke
anything.
up.
The thing is meant for like gunshot wounds and shrapnel cuts and things like that, but she's suffered a lot of damage. I can assure you, like, if you're willing, she's not going to be going anywhere anytime soon.
No, I don't want to move her or nothing. Is there anything that you know of that we can do for her? Or... It doesn't matter. Like I will do anything you can think of. I'll make it happen if you can think of something.
I mean, a good option would be to try and find another bunker. That might be an idea, but we lost contact with them long ago, so we don't know if any are still active other than ours was. I'm sorry I can't be more help. There might be doctors or surgeons around. That might be helpful as well.
Okay, do you think that we'll need bunker technology to help her out?
I honestly think we might be able to get away with medieval stuff. There's a lot of pressure built up around her brain, and I think that might be a major problem. We might be able to leak some of the fluids out.
Okay.
It's going to be gruesome, but it might help.
Yeah, anything we can do, I want to make it happen.
Well, then, like I said, you will need a doctor. I can do some, but I don't know if I trust myself to drill a hole into her head.
All right. I think we actually have a doctor in our group. I'll be right back.
Is this what I think it is going to be?
It is.
Oh no.
I mean, Veda would have gone to find the Tusk guy to see if he could help make room for all these new people.
Okay.
I was moving on to town. If
So
Dash
Jack,
went to his house.
yeah. So you head over to Jack. Oh, you're one of Dash's friends, right?
Yeah. So we have a few more refugees.
Okay. This is just getting ridiculous at this point, guys.
It's the
Are
end.
they
probably.
smart? Are they talented? Can they set up shop? Like what are they doing?
Yeah. I mean, you should keep some of them supervised because they have full ethics. But
Oh, great. Love it.
but they're from a town like yours, so they know how to survive. They're not like the people from mine who lived, a better life generally. So they can
Oh.
help.
Okay, cool. Thank you for that. I'll see what I can do, I guess.
I appreciate. I mean, do you need anything from me? Anything you need help with? I can punch.
Nope, I think I'm good.
Okay. I'm gonna kind of like direct them around. Also, if you have like a jail cell, maybe some of them might have to go in a jail cell for a while, just to really think about good and evil for a minute.
Okay.
But most of them, I think, are still, helpful, good people.
Okay. I don't know whether this is something I want to do, but I'll see what I can do.
You're the best. If you ever need anything, let us know.
I'll get you to punch things. Thanks.
I'll head over to Dash's house.
Okay.
Not to be awkward, but everyone here would know me as Tommy.
Everyone?
Yeah.
Okay.
Kenny is just sitting on like a veg or a chair somewhere, just staring off into space.
Well, Jack Lewis was here. Would you have come here as Tommy and then left as Dash?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because like I'd have a bunch of friends and everything here, which is where we kind of set up and hunkered down, and then from here I would have tried to hide my identity.
Okay. Anyway, so Kenny's staring off into space. Cool. And Dash, what are you doing?
Okay. All right. To be clear, I would have made it very apparent that I need to make sure that the Gachets still think I'm dead.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So in case anybody comes like asking about Tommy Hunter, they'd be like, "Nah, I don't know who that is." Well, they wouldn't say it in that accent, but
For interest of story, I'm sitting on the ground staring into space, but I'm near where the refugees would be kind of bundled up.
Okay. They're kind of talking amongst themselves. And what are you doing, Dash?
all right, I'm gonna go back to where we left the refugees before we get them organized, or to get them organized.
You see Kenny staring off into space amongst them.
Amongst them. All right. Doctors. There was. All right. Where's that morally bankrupt doctor I was talking to earlier?
They kind of all look around and kind of give side eyes.
What,
And
he
it's
fall
like-
behind?
I mean, it doesn't look like he's here.
Well,
I
there you go.
look up and say to you, Dash, he didn't make it.
What do you mean he didn't make it?
I mean, he didn't make it. Nico, why are you whimpering?
Kenny, what do you mean he didn't bloody make it?
I mean, what I said.
What happened? I asked someone who's, and give me a straight answer. I asked someone who's around.
I don't know. I haven't seen him for a while. It was dark, and I I don't know. I saw him when you kicked him out of the truck, and then he kept on walking for a bit, and then I don't know.
All right, Kenny, where is he? Thea needs him. Where is he?
He won't be making it here. He got what he deserved.
So Kenny's still like sitting down?
No, he would have stood up by this point. He's not showing any signs of weakness.
Did you kill him?
He got what he had coming to him.
Kenny, did you kill him?
Yes.
So like I walk up and I grab him by the by his collars.
Can I try to knock his fists away when he tries to grab me?
What you do? Okay.
I try to.
You grabbed? I'm guessing I'm not there.
What is
No,
this?
you went to his house.
What would this
Uh,
be?
I guess opposing grapple
Opposing
checks.
strength? Or
Yeah.
What's a grapple
Or a grapple.
check?
No. Technically, what this would be is you are rolling a grapple check, Dash, and then Kenny, you get to break free on your go.
okay, so I'm gonna use good guess. Okay, so that's an 18.
I also
what's
got
your
an
armor
18.
class? What's
So
your
armor class is 17.
Okay, so you have a hold of him, but
Okay.
you also get to try and break it.
Yeah. So I grab him and was like, do you understand that you may have just cost my wife's life?
I go and hit you away from me, because that way I can use strength. It's a like 23, 24. I can actually figure out the...
yeah.
Can you beat that as
No,
a strength roll?
So I
yeah,
just
so-
hit you away and
Beats
said,
my-
I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about.
That doctor that you murdered could have helped my wife. You just couldn't let it go, could you?
People who go and experiment on creatures, torture creatures, shouldn't be allowed the privilege of continuing to
You
breathe.
hurt other people. Should we kill you too, right now?
I've hurt people. I haven't gone out of my way to cage and torture and experiment on people.
Kenny, what's the difference? We kill people all the time. Why'd you have to kill this one?
Killing people is quick. Being locked up for years in their case is anything but pure torture.
But you just... You... I can't believe you did this. You better find another doctor. Because I swear to Pooh, if my wife dies, I'm gonna kill you.
I would like to see you try.
Oh,
And I walk away.
Where's the try? I'm gonna do it.
As he's yelling that at me, I'm just walking away.
Well, hail Eldritch Poo.
All right. Okay. They're all, the rest of the people are kind of just standing there like wide-eyed. It's like they
What you
killed
were
him.
looking at?
Um,
Show's over.
They're kind of just looking amongst themselves like, okay, are we safe here type of thing?
All right. Mayor of this town. No, sorry. What's
He's-
Jack?
Sheriff.
Jack.
All right. Well, I'm going to take you to a man named Jack Lewis. And he'll get you set up. For now, this is your new home. All right?
I mean,
Tell him your profession. Tell him your family. Tell him whatever you need. He'll get you set up. And
I mean, I
just
don't
walk
think we
away.
have much of a choice. Okay, bye.
There's a lot of anger right now.
There's a lot of inter-party conflict in this episode. All right. So you lead them over to Jack. You walk away from that. I assume still upset.
Yep.
And I think that's where we're gonna call it tonight.
No.
Just
I'm just glad Elaine isn't here, because then there'd probably be a third person angry at Kenny right now.
Can you imagine if Para was here?
Oh, that would be bad.
I think you guys need to think about what you've done tonight, and we'll come back to this next week. Maybe we'll see.
If I'm here, I'm the perfect person to be missing the next game.
No.
Everyone's mad at me. Peace out.
Kenny flies off into the sunset.
All right. So thank you, anybody who was watching. Thank you for watching us later on YouTube if you choose to. And it's been great. Hope everybody had a good night. And we'll see you next week, maybe the week after. It depends on, who all can show up for the game.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, hope everybody has a great night.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. And once more, Boone loves you.
Always.